Chat, why am I live today? Why am I live today? Apart from the fact that I go live every day. Apparently now this is my thing. I'm like a streamer. I'm just a straight up loser now. I used to make YouTube videos. Now I just stream. Well, the reason I'm live is because of the MamaMax story. Now, guys, we've been following the MamaMax story for a while now. Okay, we've been following it. YouTuber who exposes P words. Who apparently is in some hot water, some hot drama. Okay, Mudahar dropped him. His like good buddy Muda dropped him. Nick Diorio's been criticizing him a lot. There's a ton of videos if you look up MamaMax on YouTube right now that are like, MamaMax is a fraud. MamaMax is a liar. Why I hate MamaMax. But I feel like nobody has really put it together. Nobody's really put together the entire story. I've had a hard time even understanding what's going on, even following it. Despite the fact that behind the scenes, I was kind of involved in this because Max had asked me to review this case about Camden Gerard Davis, and I didn't end up seeing much to review. He basically wanted me to talk to the survivor for a while, and I was just like, I need like concrete evidence that this guy's a piece of shit. And I never got that. But Max has been kind of having a little bit of a meltdown on YouTube lately. He's been posting some cringe, posting some sus stuff. And now Nick Diorio has dropped a video about him. And the title is a pretty extreme one. Pretty extreme title, I would say. The title here is MamaMax lied about everything. Leaked call. Leaked call. It's an hour long. This is a long video. Driver bowl cut routine. I mean, you just put a bowl in your head and cut your hair. That's it, dude. It's simple. Simple. But I'm excited for this video. I've been excited for a little while. I've been hearing rumblings about it. Yesterday, we thought it was going to drop. It didn't drop. Classic Nick Diorio fashion. But this is the first time Nick has even dropped a video in, I mean, it's been 2 years since he dropped a video. Jesus. Notoriously fat and lazy content creator Nicholas Diorio finally posts a video. For years behind the scenes, I've been trying to get Nick to post a video. Difficult task, okay? More difficult than proving Jeffrey Epstein innocent, I would say, is getting Nicholas Diorio to upload a video. And proving Jeffrey Epstein to be innocent is extremely difficult. Now, Nick, when he drops a video, it's sort of like an event. You know, Nick's one of these creators where he's not a part of the content slop factory like I am. He only drops a video when he really wants to get in there, when he's so fired up. He wants to destroy someone. I'd say he accurately destroyed Def Noodles. He did the Zaptai Saga a while back. He did the Deji series of the John Swan, which was Keenosopher's Stone. Very good. But now we've got MamaMax lied about everything. Nick Diorio apparently exposing, you know, someone who's pretty respected on YouTube, a respected sort of video essayist and artist who supposedly exposes PDF files. He's too obese to be a part of the daily slop grind. He's more on the minutely slop grind. But he posted an hour-long video. I'm excited. I'm excited to go through this. Now, before we get into this, does anybody in chat have any questions? Can I answer any questions? I'll try to answer as many questions as I can for you guys. Hopefully relevant to this situation. I'm going to read some questions from chat, and after that, we're going to watch the video. Who are you? I'm your dad. Is it Zin time? Dude, I ran out of the menthols. They're out, I think. Wait, did I run out? Hold on. I did run out. These are all used. But, thankfully, I have this. Is it ethical to watch a 30-minute old vid? That's a good question. I told Nick I'd be doing it, so he didn't seem to have a problem. And I'm going to have a reaction and commentary there, so I'd say it's fine. Do you support Count Blackula? Yeah, sure. Were you a Scene kid? I don't think I was even, when was Scene? That was like 2009 to 2015. I was barely even conscious during that time, so no, I was not a Scene kid. I was playing Minecraft and Clash of Clans at that point in time. You can watch the full video. I am going to watch the entire thing, front to back. Unless there's obvious parts that I should skip, but generally with Nick, there's not a lot of filler, so I think I'm going to be watching the entire thing. Do you think this is the one time deplatforming is okay? Max needs to be off the internet? I don't know. I mean, I'm generally against deplatforming. It would take a lot to convince me of that. I guess maybe the video will change my mind, but probably not. I'd probably be against deplatforming. I think you can, you know, sort of expose him and express ideas about how he's wrong without having to take him off the internet, you know? Could you Venmo me? Yeah, good idea. I think it's Stanza for the two. How do you know Max? Just kind of through the YouTube grapevine, I guess. Like, you know, creators are kind of talk to each other. I met him at VidCon once, and he was a very nice guy. Maybe I met him twice, actually. Maybe 3 times. I don't know. I've never really hung out with him, but we've had very brief conversations. I mean, he was nice. You think MamaMax can come back from this? As of now, I'm not sure. We're going to watch the video and determine if he can't come back. He might be able to. You think it's so over for Max? It seems like it might be over, but we're going to find out in this video. What if Max changes his voice? I think to be edgy. Let's check this out, though. MamaMax lied about everything. Leaked call and fake videos. 37 minutes ago.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Diorio. Before we get started today, I'm going to be clear and concise about what this video will...
I feel like high watching this video right now. It's been so long since Nick dropped a video. I feel like I'm living in an alternate reality, basically. I feel like I'm living somewhere else. He's still got the like the gangster. Let's go. The gangster Nick. Let's freaking go.
Prove. Today, you're going to see undeniable evidence that MamaMax is a complete and total fraud. He is a content creator who claims his platform exists to empower abuse survivors. And the reality is, MamaMax is a liar. His actions in the
Thank you, Choco Bucks, for becoming a member, and thank you, Zinbo, for the $2.
past and present paint a far more sinister picture. Right off
Max has always rubbed me the wrong way. I absolutely hated how he acted during the pick aside. Glad Nick came in with a kill shot. I mean, at that time, I think we had him on Half Baked. When I used to do this podcast, only real ones will remember this podcast. We had MamaMax on at some point, and we talked to him about this stuff, and he had okay explanations, but he basically was just saying that the reason why he was trying to get, you know, people to hashtag pick a side or whatever was to get attention on the issue, because he felt like people weren't really paying attention enough. And that's kind of the thing he's done twice now, and he tried to do it a third time with this most recent Spencer thing. But the video he made, you guys remember, it was like completely schizophrenic. He was like, Joe Rogan, you need to do this. You need to talk about Camden Gerard Davis, while not even giving him any information about what he's even reporting on. So I don't really know what he expected there, but yeah.
Off the bat, this video does contain clips of the leaked recording between myself, MamaMax, and Mudahar of Some Ordinary Gamers. If Max has an issue with how he is portrayed in this video, I consent to the full call being released. I am not afraid. In the event where Max tries to bully me with threats of getting my channel banned, this video removed, or any
My wife threatened to flag my channel. Shortly after our debate, he DMs me at 2 a.m. asking me to censor and take down my stream because of a privacy complaint. He then accused me of bullying victims. Not true. Heavily implying he's going to... So he's trying to just censor people who criticize him? You reveal the name of a survivor who wished to remain anonymous. Did he reveal it? I really doubt that. Or if he did, I mean, I don't think he had exclusive documents that like only he had access to that Max had never published. It was all stuff Max gave him, so it was probably Max's fault. How's your week going? Wishing you well. It's going pretty good, man. How's yours?
anything else through use of YouTube contacts, which he has done to content creators who have exposed...
Thank you. Yes, due to privacy considerations, we've made our stream private. However, you don't want to get striked, I must express my concerns regarding the patterns observed in your behavior and the nature of the community you're cultivating. Your channel is at risk of being terminated if these issues persist. Promoting a community that engages in bullying, especially targeting survivors of child sex crimes, is deeply troubling. I strongly encourage you reflect on the impact of your actions and the environment you're creating. So he's literally threatening to get someone's channel deleted. What even happened here? Did this guy like dox? Did Lyrix like dox some kid? Or was it an accident? Was it Max's fault? Like, what happened here?
Him recently, I will not hesitate to drop our full uncut recording for the entire internet to see. I will not be silenced, and you will get everything that's coming to you.
Max is supposed to be the one bringing the story across to everyone. And yes, if in the case that everything is actually...
Why is it my job? Yeah, why are you putting it all...
Lyrix did not reveal the name. The name was the person's name on Discord, and Max brought him into the call, so it was shown. Jesus. Which is Max's fault. Because he couldn't tell this person to not have their real name be their Discord name when they're going on a public live stream. That is completely idiotic.
On me. Like,
Because it's your case!
One bringing it. Why are you...
absolutely. I am the first one.
Okay, a
He is
few
the
months
first
ago,
one.
the YouTuber named
That's
MamaMax
true.
asked me to react to his content and promote the massive investigation
Thank you,
he was
Splat
about
Jam,
to
for becoming a
release.
member.
Max Stryker claimed to be exposing a depraved individual who used social media to lure society's most vulnerable into compromising situations. Cameron Gerard Davis has been accused of masquerading as mythical creatures such as werewolves.
Can we see the video again? The video's so epic.
Situations. Cameron Gerard Davis has been accused
Is it Cameron or Camden? I don't even know. But this video is so awesome, dude. Like the rawr. The most confusing thing to me is that like Max called me behind the scenes to try and tell me about this case and get me to cover it. He really wanted me to cover it on my channel. And I was like, I mean, I'd be open to covering it, but I need to see a lot of evidence, and I think you should publish a video first, and then maybe I can go from there, you know? I don't really call myself an investigative journalist. I wouldn't hold myself to that esteem or regard. So I find it kind of silly to personally involve myself in these cases when what I'd rather do is if I see leaks publicly that are already leaked, I'll go through it. But if there's leaks behind the scenes, I'm not going to know the full context. I'm not going to know all the information, and I'm not going to be able to cover it impartially. What Max wanted me to do for like evidence was have like a 6-hour call with this like victim. I think Spencer is her name. And I was just like, I don't really want to do that, you know? Or maybe I said I was open to it at some point, but we never ended up having that call. And I tried to give him some advice as well later on. I tried to give him some advice to like stop getting involved in drama, stop trying to bait Moist Critical into talking about your stuff and, you know, calling him a bad person because he covers drama instead of your weird cult case that you think is real. I tried to communicate that to him, and it just apparently didn't really go through. He just kept trucking, dude.
Of masquerading as mythical creatures such as werewolves and vampires in the hopes to lure children. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, is what I would have said if Max's videos on the subject weren't terrible.
Today we're going to be talking about a YouTuber that's been going really wacky wild as of late.
This video is going to be on a more serious topic. I'm sure most of you know who a creator by the name of MamaMax is and the controversy currently surrounding them.
It was probably me and Nick, and that was about it. You're going to see as this goes further, this guy has serious hero complex. Like he really believes that he's a hero.
Then you made the third video, which was calling out Moist Critical for not covering the story after you DM'd him like a spurg a bunch of times.
Yeah, so here, you want me to talk about it a little bit? That rubbed me the wrong way. I spent 12 days not doing anything online, in bed, and during that time apparently it changed his whole framing of the video in order to make it like a Trojan horse of cancel critical, because he didn't respond to my messages and ghosted me.
Imagine Anthony Fantano just watching this like that.
You provided evidence that was some girl's testimony, and 4 girls, if not 5, came out with their testimony against you.
What I'm saying is the burden of proof is on them and they didn't provide any.
And it just seems like a dramatized...
I mean, the burden of proof, that's an out of context clip, but the burden of proof is on Max and his like victims or whatever to provide proof about this case and give it to Joseph Rogan so he'll cover it. It's not on people accusing him of lying or asking for more evidence, right? It's on the guy who brought it out in the first place, obviously.
Embellished story, and then this person's talking about it and just saying insane things.
Look at the hand movements. He thinks he's like actually the Punisher. So pathetic.
Max released 3 videos that provide essentially nothing in the form of evidence. The average person can't follow anything he's released so far, and more time was spent responding to critics than providing actionable proof that content creators could use to condemn Cameron Gerard Davis. In fact, after Max threatened me privately for not reacting to his...
Your platform has the power to end the suffering of children. To end the suffering of children. Yet your silence has been both noticeable and disappointing. I believe in your ability to be more than a commentator on drama. You have the potential to be a force for positive change. I urge you to watch the attached video and use your voice for a cause that desperately needs it. Your response or lack thereof will not go unnoticed. We're determined to be heard, and we will hope to count you among those who stand for what is right. I mean, he's kind of like blackmailing him. He's like, if you don't cover this thing, you're going to get in with me, right? I talked to Max about statements like this behind the scenes and how you shouldn't be trying to pressure people like Penguin Zero into covering your stuff. And his explanation was like, well, I'm just mad autistic, if you can't tell. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know if that's real, but if it is real, if you're actually autistic or if you're just saying you're autistic socially or whatever the case may be, you have a responsibility as a public figure to, behave properly and not do stuff like that. And he never did that. He just kept going around apparently behind the scenes trying to convince people to cover this story. And once again, there was no evidence for us to cover. Like, it's not like me and Mutahar and whoever else is like opposed to covering any story in general. It's not like that. But we just need evidence. We need evidence, right? If you're gonna stake, okay, for example, look at my channel. Turkey Tom, okay, 1 million subscribers. If I'm posting a video here, it's gonna get bare minimum probably 500, 600,000 views. At the max, it might get 2, 3, or 4 million views, right? If I publish a video about someone, I have to be at least trying to be accurate. I have to have evidence against someone, like with the Giggly Goon Clown case that I covered. You guys will remember that. This one. There were so many DMs I went through. So many DMs, so many screenshots, so many logs. That's where the evidence came from. For Cameron Gerard Davis, I was never able to see any of that. And the same applies for someone like Mutahar, some ordinary gamers, who has a large platform. And someone like him, obviously, even like way bigger than me. He's got 4 times my sub count. For him to cover a case, he needs to have absolute dead to rights proof that this person f***ed up, or he could get in serious legal trouble, or beyond serious legal trouble. If you don't have good evidence, people are going to call you out because you're either falsely reporting information or you don't have enough evidence to support a claim. And this is kind of what we talked about on the Some Ordinary podcast, actually, funnily enough. I did this show with it's Mutahar's podcast, and there's also Oompaville and Nuxtaku, and I believe in this episode we talked about MamaMax. Actually, this is from a month ago. Is there a timestamp? I kind of want to find this. The comments on this are cancer, by the way. Tom's the type of guy to bring Legos to a party. Tom's the type of guy to breathe deeply during podcasts. Tom's the type of guy to collect all the Dragon Balls to wish his ex finds a better man. Tom's the type of guy to play casual footsies with his homies while saying tee-hee. What is up? What is wrong with you people? You people are sick. Okay. But we did talk about Max in this podcast, I do believe. So we talked about it on this podcast. It was kind of an awkward conversation for all these guys because they're kind of friends with Max, and they had sort of a strange. We had to start kind of a strange, awkward discussion where I was just kind of talking about what happened, and they were kind of. I'm not saying they were being pussies or anything, but they were just kind of afraid to talk about it because they didn't even know what was going on. They were, genuinely confused by what's even happening with this Camden Gerard Davis case.
You were gonna use that as a segue. Oh.
I was. In MamaMax.
Do it.
So I don't know what'll change by the time this podcast will drop because we usually record a week in advance. For anybody that doesn't know watching, last night MamaMax uploaded a video where he called out a pretty sizable creator in our sphere, Moist Critical, Charlie. It was basically framed as almost like a cancellation video, the greatest cancellation of all time at Penguin Zero. I think that's the title.
Right, which was obviously a gimmick, to reference his description, because all of Charlie's descriptions are "this is the greatest drama of all time."
So inside this video, Max, who for the last I think 2-3 weeks has been doing this thing known as God Cult, which Nux, I think you can best describe it.
Oh God!
Yeah, you can describe God.
So basically, all right. Here's a little mini documentary. A few weeks ago, I was doing my thing, and I saw a video on my feed. What happened to MamaMax? And I'm like, oh, what happened to him? I haven't heard anything in a while. It was posted by this weird channel called God Cult. So MamaMax, friend of the show, the guy who basically hunts files for a living, he rebranded his channel to God Cult, and he made a video talking about welcome to God Cult, how he wants God standing for guard our descendants, how he basically wants to protect children, an incredibly noble goal, especially on the internet where a lot of degeneracy goes around. And he basically, he frames it like it's almost a moral imperative of every YouTuber to specifically talk about this specifically, because this is something evil that's going on that more eyeballs on it is good. So
this moral imperative thing is something that I got in DMs a lot from Max. It was stuff like moral imperative, but it was also like, think about the views you could get if you hopped on this, or think about you're getting it on the ground floor. Imagine the attention this is going to get and how important it's going to be. And I was just like, I mean, I guess that could happen, but I need to see evidence of what's even going on here. Like, just make a video. The thing I never understood about this, and the thing I've repeated time and time again, is if MamaMax wants to like get people to talk about the situation, why doesn't he just make a video? And the Moist Critical will do what he always does, and he reacts to stuff on stream. I'll probably react to it on a stream, or I'll make a video on Tom Dark talking about it, or maybe even a main channel video going deeper, or elaborating on my thoughts on it. Like, you need to have like proper evidence, and you can't expect every YouTuber to go through the evidence with you and comb through it, because there are people with lives who are doing. And I know that, child trafficking is important, and it's an issue that should be spoken out against, and it's important to talk about it, and I appreciate those who do talk about it on YouTube, but you can't expect everybody to just drop what they're doing and collaborate with you on this thing that they know nothing about. I don't even know if this cult is real. There's like this girl named Spencer with a bunch of facial piercings who says that she got groomed by him, and says that, I think her claim is that she lived with Camden for 4 months, and in that time he knocked her up and then made her drink orange juice and kicked her belly to get rid of the baby. That's what she said. I mean, that could be real, but I just have no idea. I haven't seen no evidence of that. Literally, all I know is that like this girl just says it happened. I'm not calling her a liar, but like I need some evidence before I'm going to cover something on my million subscriber YouTube channel, on my channel with 300,000 subscribers. This isn't even like an ego thing. It's more like I put myself up to legal liability if I misreport something. I could be sued for slander if I get it wrong. I need to have evidence, And at the time, I think he told me something to the effect of like, well, if you want to cover this situation, we have interviews we can get. You have interviews. And I was like, well, I just need evidence. And he's like, well, the evidence is being locked up right now because it's being used for a police investigation, and making it public could jeopardize it. I didn't really question that at the time. I didn't. Now I've heard people saying that apparently there is no police investigation. But, if you're a YouTuber and you're running the risk of destroying your business off of this case, you need to have solid evidence that this stuff went down. I still don't to this day understand why Max didn't just make a video. Tom, the kind of guy to have all the evidence against Nick is not green and still forgive him. I'm a forgiving guy, dude. I don't hold hate in my heart. This drama is boring. Messing around on Red Dead, I enjoy the video, but Nick is not green situation is crazy. It is crazy, dude. It actually is crazy. Max has no real proof. I mean, maybe he does, but I haven't seen it.
So it's basically a moral imperative of everyone to talk about it. So he got some pushback because it seemed like he was over-dramatizing a situation. He was pushing other people. He called people out by name. He did a lot of things that seemed like they could be interpreted as just going for views as opposed to going for justice. It could be interpreted that way. And he got pushback for it on his rebrand and everything. His video, What Happened to MamaMax, was talking about how he's evolving into a channel that really he wants to use his power for good. And he continued to tell people that they had no choice but to cover this because it's of extreme importance.
Yeah.
This is the weird thing about it, watching the What Happened to MamaMax video, because I was a fan of Max way back in the day. You guys want some ancient Max lore? Back when he was around on commentary YouTube, like way back in the day, there was this channel called Sino. And Sino was this, this cute little Asian boy from Australia. And he would make videos and everybody hated him. He just made bad videos, basically, right? And at the time, Sino and MamaMax were good buddies, though. They were good buddies. And they had this podcast called A Quiet Place for Friends. It's got 3,000 subs. It's still up to this day. And you can see they did 5 episodes. They did that one about depression, one about loneliness with Elvis Alien, one about bullying, one about backstabbing, and one with Colossal is Crazy.
Welcome everyone
way back
to
in the day.
physically, of course, just
making videos.
Like through video. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think if I can just say, the thing about you is that you have such a individualized and such a special and unique fan base, because you treat all of your subscribe,ers every
This room
video
looks very
you treat them
cozy.
with
I
such
like this
love,
room.
right? I mean, you tell them that like
I think it's supposed to be
family
depressing.
you,
I
that,
kind of like it.
that your friends and people know your situation, how you were in an environment where you didn't have that, and you talk about a lot of the time how gracious you are that you have friends, all of them being your subscribers. So I guess they're naturally all wanting to know you and stuff, because a lot of your fans perhaps could be in the same situation, right? So that's hard for you, and the bigger you get, the harder that gets.
You should do a video on the Chris Hardwick cancellation. It's an old story, but it was a big deal when it happened. Literally can't find any videos. That's the guy from Talking Dead, right? He got canceled by some ex-girlfriend of his or something. I don't even know the details behind that. But I should know, probably. I kind of wish I knew, but I don't know the details. Anyway, we're going to keep watching this video. Or we're going to keep going over the situation. I'm distracted. Anyway, I was a fan of MamaMax way back in the day. And he was also making these videos at this time called Life Sucks. MamaMax, Life Sucks. Life Sucks was a pretty good series he did. That was, no, Isaac, no. I'm not doing that. Thanks for the 2, though. Life Sucks was a series. We just talked about loneliness and whatever, sadness, depression, being bullied. It was very emo, which is why I liked it. And I wasn't really bullied. I didn't really relate to a lot of these issues, but I thought it was nice to see someone who was talking about this stuff on YouTube and was helping people through it. And this was his first real foray. He had some stuff before that called YouTube Hell that was pretty interesting, but that was more like YouTube poop type stuff. This is when his channel really took off. But the weird thing about it is that he was kind of entrenched in the commentary community, which you wouldn't really expect from a channel like his. You would expect him to be talking about talking to other, I don't know, lifestyle depression YouTubers, if those exist. Maybe he'd talk to Amanda Todd, the girl who held up the pictures of herself before she Ann Hero'd. But instead he was just making videos about being sad.
Every day. And guess what? Because of that, within time,
this video is literally
you'll be
being sad
able to
about
find the cure
homework.
for cancer. There is no doubt about that. It doesn't stress
Thank you,
out
Metallistad.
because, you
Appreciate
see,
the 5-month membership,
unlike
buddy.
a job,
I
you
will.
don't get paid for it. So that means you can only do it for fun and out of curiosity. Isn't that ingenious? Making a human being work for something that they won't be paid for, but severely disciplined if they don't do it. I think there's a word for that. Ah, yes. Slave homework is true.
He's calling homework slavery. Well, these videos were interesting at the time. They're probably kind of cringe looking back, but I liked them. But this whole podcast we did with him was very awkward. And you can see here that these guys didn't really know how to react to the situation at all. They were kind of, especially Oompaville, Please, shirtless thug shake, dude. We're gonna go back. What's your workout routine? I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I don't know. It's pretty standard exercises. Just a lot of dumbbells. Getting into machines lately. Getting into bench more. Good for you. Can't even edge this. I exploded immediately. Very funny. Guys, we're getting off topic. Lucius Groups of Pitos gets an update. We might be doing an update video on all of them pretty soon. Yes, actually. Like a compilation video where we update all of it. Anyway, this was a very awkward conversation we had here. You can tell all of them are sort of tepidly trying to avoid talking about it because they're like, he's kind of their friend. And this is the thing. Max was so entrenched in the YouTube community. He was everybody's friend.
in the most recent episode of the saga, he released a video, "This is the greatest cancellation of all time," featuring Penguin Zero, where he called out Charlie, basically, and the entire community that kept making videos about Sniper Wolf and all the shit that she was doing, and said that that's not super relevant in the grand scheme of things. What is relevant is that things are happening to children. So therefore, Charlie, you're a good man, and you have to make a video about this and put more eyeballs on this.
You mean
case
he's a bad man? He
that
needs to be a good man, though.
Yeah, currently a bad man.
I mean, this has always been sort of a thread for Max. Like back when he did the Wake Up Tube thing, he was like, "Will you ever cover the Lil Boom situation? No Jumper exposed him for touching kids in Walmart. Security footage got leaked too, and he's denying it." Is this the guy who was friends with DJ Academics? I might cover that actually. Kind of demanding Corpse Husband's attention.
He called out Corpse Husband and all those guys.
I like Max. I like his videos, but he is being, I don't know. He needs to pop a Zanny right now because he's going a little crazy, I think.
To me, it's very confusing because he's messaged a lot of people, I assume. It's just been kind of confusing. Like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do.
The thing is, there seems to be some child slave cult or something that he wants to be reported on, which is fair. But I think the biggest issue is no content creator even knows where the evidence is, what this is about. Nobody has a detailed explanation. And if you want people to cover this, you need to break the story first. You know what I mean? You need to have the information. He made this previous video, which might be deleted now, where he was trying to get Joe Rogan to cover it. And it's Joe Rogan is a fucking podcaster who talks. Yes, he is friends with the Academics. Ack reacted to it a few days ago, saying Boom's his friend and he won't talk about it. Had a meltdown on Adam. Really? I'm gonna look into that later. Hold on. DJ Academics, and Adam 22. What's that rapper's name again? Hold on. Lil Boom situation. Joseph Rogan. This is the Joseph Rogan moment. You can see here I was even kind of hesitant to criticize Max because I gave him advice. He asked me for advice behind the scenes and I was like, dude, stop with YouTubers, stop with Voice Critical, stop trying to bait people into covering your and just make the video. Just make the video. That's all you have to do. Make the video with the evidence in it. And for whatever reason, he still hasn't done that. I mean, if you go to his channel, most recently, these 3 videos are all about this cult thing somehow. And none of them have any evidence in it. And he was even trying to tell me about how, he was doing this thing, the Sniper Wolf thing. He was telling me about how online cults are dangerous and how I should talk about it. And I was like, but is Sniper Wolf really related to that? Is Sniper Wolf running an online cult? Is this really a broader conversation about influencers, or is this just a conversation about how there's this weird cult going on? I feel like there's no correlation between Camden Gerard Davis or Giggly Goon Clown or like that, and just Sniper Wolf. Or Ludwig. Are these guys really running cults? No, they just have cringe echo chambers going on. But this is the stuff that he was trying to push. He was trying to push it to this be this broader conversation about internet cults and stuff. And I was like, I'll have a conversation with you about it, but I got to be honest. I might be critical of you. I might disagree with you on what you have to say, And I think that's totally fair. And I feel like I did the right thing there in asking for receipts and evidence of that was going on. I feel like I did the right thing. To Kanye and Alex Jones and Jordan Peterson and Shane Gillis, why would he be reporting on this? Is he going to have you on the podcast? Is that what's going to happen? And it just seems the weirdest thing. Why is Joe Rogan going to talk about God cult? He's not he likes to talk about conspiracy sometimes, but it's in a very casual sense. I can't imagine my dad listening to it. My dad loves Joe Rogan. I can't imagine my dad listening to a podcast about God cult or Camden Gerard Davis. This is seedy, deep internet lore stuff. This should be covered on Kiwi Farms. It doesn't have to be on Joe Rogan. Maybe in a while it'll be on Joe Rogan, but it shouldn't be right now. Be a very weird thing where, in an effort to do a good thing, which is bring this dark cult, which apparently does exist according to Max, to attention, it's sort of turned into this weird pulling at people's pant legs type thing. And now Charlie is the biggest one, trying to kind of being forced into this. And Charlie does cover serious situations, but none of us as YouTubers are the police. We're not obligated to cover anything. We all have our own lives. We have our own businesses to run. To ask us to stick our neck out to cover a situation that we have no evidence even happened is a very tough sell.
Yeah,
right. If you look at Charlie, for example, he covered EDP. Okay, that dude's an alleged file, right? And
but he covered EDP. He didn't do investigative journalism. Charlie reacted to a video about EDP. Charlie's not going to get involved in this investigation. You have to make a video that's easy for him to understand so he can watch it and report it. He's a big channel. He can't just get involved in all this. He's got other fish to fry, other things to cover. He's running I cannot stress this enough, multi-million-dollar business. For him to cover something like this, he needs definitive proof. He needs definitive, solid proof of something happening. Or else he could be sued millions.
He made a video. He made multiple videos covering that guy because that was as the story unfolded, and he talked about this thing that actually happened. For Charlie at this point to make a video saying, "Guys, I'm sitting down with you now to tell all of you to subscribe to MamaMax," even though there's no story there yet. Like, it doesn't make sense from a Charlie standpoint.
FYI, time when researching Lil Boom's situation, he responded on stream but deleted the streams after they're archived on his Kick. Name is Lil Boom Chan. Gotcha. Lil Boom Chan archived response. Gotcha. I'll take a look at that. Reminds me of you guys remember Lil Mar? At some point I made a video about this guy on Tom Dark called Lil Mar, who he was caught sodomizing a young girl at Walmart and went to jail for it. And he messaged me at one point. He was like, "Let's do an interview. Let's do a collab." And I think I called him an F slur right away. I think I was like, "No, you're a, you know, whatever." And he was like, and then he tweeted out a screenshot. He was like, "This is your fave. Me calling you, you know, I'm not doing an interview with you, you freak. Literally suck on a car tailpipe. Get behind my Audi. Let me turn it on. Sit there for 10 minutes in Minecraft."
It's like a canary in a coal mine situation too, right? Like, so let's get down to the facts, right? Like, so I watched the videos that he made. The only video I did not watch was the 5-hour podcast with one of the victims that he made.
This is the thing, a five-hour podcast. Like, you need to make it digestible. You can't expect the average person to dedicate 5 hours to watching your thing, much less a YouTuber who's got a busy schedule and is doing things every day. Why is it 5 hours? Why is it 5 hours? But yeah, like you can't expect the average person, or much less the average busy YouTuber, to spend 5 hours, which is an entire day. 5 hours is an entire workday watching some interview, and the interview doesn't even have one screenshot in it. It's just an interview. It's crazy. It's crazy to expect anyone to do that. I feel bad for MamaMax. I feel like he's like going through a mental health episode or something. I don't even know how you fix this guy, because there's something wrong with him. He's going through some very dark, some deep dark pit of life right now, and he's also living with one of the victims right now, which I mean is probably kind of a conflict of interest and kind of bad. Like, do you need to be financially supporting the person you're supposed to be investigating the case of? I feel like you don't.
Say the time is short. Okay, I got shit to do. So I think, and that's what I said to Max. I'm like, if you want to do this, instead of pulling at the pant legs, right? Like, if you present.
After you hitting abs, I don't really hit abs at all, honestly. But I'm getting ready for the bulk. So actually, not even getting ready. I'm starting the bulk. I started it this week. I've been eating like a pig. Yesterday I had 3 protein shakes. Okay, I'm trying to get up to. I'm like 175, 180 right now. I'm trying to get up to 200 pounds. I think MamaMax has said he was dealing with his mental health, but he said in that video where he was involved with drama and an abusive partner worker or something. Well, I mean, that's kind of sad, but I mean, it's just kind of not anyone's responsibility but his own. You know, he's got to figure that out. When I go through mental health stuff, I'm not on stream talking about it with you guys. I'm figuring it out behind the scenes, and I'm trying to not let it affect my work. If your mental health is affecting an investigation, you should probably log the off for a while and come back to it when you're ready, or hand it off to someone else.
One good story, like beginning, middle, and end, or beginning, middle about this situation, this like cult leader, because, bro, a vampire cult leader that's trafficking human beings, I'm going to tell you right now, that's like in metadata gold on YouTube, right? Like, that's going to slap. But
yeah, the thing is, and Nick even pointed this out, I didn't even realize this. I recently did a video that was literally of like, a less extreme case, but it's titled "The TikTok Lolcow Thinks He's a Vampire." It's about like a creepy guy who thinks he's a vampire named Jupiter the Hybrid, who thinks he's literally a vampire demon. Thanks for the 5 bad dragon. Wait, the name? That's dark. But I literally did a video about it and it got 1 million views. Like, and his thing is even more insane. He's actually doing like a crazy investigation. So there's undoubtedly a lot more for him to get out of that. And like, he could make a much longer video, which is good for watch time. So I just, once again, I don't understand why he didn't just make a video. I don't understand. And the only conclusion I have to reach is that there must be no evidence or something, right? There must be no evidence. Unless it really is just locked up for some police investigation.
The thing is, you got to have a story. You got to have something that presents
evidence.
Because, yeah, if you want people to react to you and respond to the video, right, then you're going to have to make something that is, you're going to have to present the story, and people will naturally come, right? Like, it is what it is. It happens all the time.
Yeah, too, Davey.
So every single one of his videos, he does this thing with the editing where it all, like, he shows screenshots for, I'm not joking, half a second. Like, when I was watching this last night on my phone, I was like hitting pause, play, pause over and over and over again. And even the screenshots.
That is a weird thing he does. Like, dude, if you're making a video exposing someone, you need to have like evidence in it. This video is literally all screenshots.
It happened again.
Anywhere you click, screenshot, Screenshot of DMs, highlighting specific DMs. Why couldn't he just do this? If he has the evidence, why couldn't he do it? I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. I don't, like, hopefully this question is answered by next video, because I don't understand.
That I paused to view were just so, like, they didn't have any context attached to them, and they also didn't seem like super bad. Like, yeah, he was like weird, like, I don't know, it was sexually charged, but I don't know the context of it, right? Like,
I'm just confused.
Yeah, like, exactly.
This is the thing for everyone.
Story.
They're all confused.
Nobody's there.
Oompaville
and
is
the
confused.
reason why I say a canary in a coal mine is like,
and Oompaville, if you go to his channel, once again, what, 4 million subscribers, almost 5 million subscribers. You can't expect this guy to report on a situation with no evidence when you haven't even covered it yourself. YouTubers in the past have supported MamaMax. I have supported his stuff before. I've tweeted out his videos, probably. I've retweeted it. I was even in I think the Pick a Side YouTube or one of those videos. I was in it. And I talked about my grievances with YouTube censoring my videos about dark stuff. Like, people will be willing to support Max. He just needs the evidence. For some reason, he can't provide it. It's so perplexing. Why? For free? No, for $100.
yeah, if you want a creator to co-sign with you, that's you putting like your seal of approval.
Am I just an OnlyFans girl now?
Understand. Like, there's a good chance, there could be a chance that this person that they're targeting, this Cameron Gerard Davis fella, this vampire, could be innocent. This could, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know the story. We weren't there.
Yeah.
And look, I know that it takes a lot of effort for a victim to come out and like talk about this kind of stuff, but it's also like, you need to have a lot of proof as well too. You need to have like actionable proof.
All right, next dono, because I'm a degenerate, for $100, I'll drop and give you guys 10 push-ups, okay?
And of course, everything's not
That's
100%, but I mean, like, the screenshots that we were shown so far, there's no law enforcement agency that's going to treat that with the utmost seriousness. And YouTubers, we, like, especially us in our sphere, like in the commentary space, we do research this stuff more than the average person. We have to. And from my research and everything I looked into, I was like, I don't see any. There's more evidence about the dream stuff than there is about this guy.
I mean, and realistically, we open ourselves up to a whole list of liabilities if we cover something without proper evidence. I mean, if we put this guy's face and he is innocent, a lawsuit, if he is guilty, but we can't prove that he is guilty, a lawsuit is what we get. Beyond that, loss of reputation. I mean, it's a lot to ask someone with 1 million subscribers to stick their neck out, and then, you know, think about the damages that someone could accrue for a lawsuit.
And like, if this isn't all true,
here's
and
the thing: when it comes to Max, though, just because, as far as my personal bias, I believe that he has evidence and that he really is doing this for good reasons.
I think it's
I
like
think he
a highly dramatized thing.
It's just very dramatized, and the approach, I think, isn't honed to YouTube.
I think with his situation, if I was in his shoes, I would take that evidence, produce like an hour video or something, like, or however long, just to bring the point across 100%, make a real debt to rights piece. And naturally, I would assume my friends would watch my video and probably cover it in their own rights. You know, like, it's happened from time to time. Like, Caleb, you've done stuff that I've covered on my channel, and vice.
So you guys get the idea behind this conversation, right? We're just saying, like, if you want us to cover something, we need evidence. And for some reason, Max had yet to provide that to any of us behind the scenes, even though we were desperately asking him to. That doesn't mean we were going to cover it. If I had evidence behind the scenes, I probably wasn't going to cover it yet. But if he put out a video that was convincing and comprehensive, I would be willing to cover it. At least on Tom Dark, I'll be willing to do a video, at the very least. Or react to it on a stream and clip it, you know? Is that fair to say? I think that's fair to say.
Video on my main YouTube channel, I cataloged my 10 hours of research publicly in the form of 2 live streams, and my results were astounding.
All right, we're 2 hours in this. We're 2 hours in right now. Realistically, we're another hour and a half on top of our 4.5 hours in. So we're at like the 6-hour mark of understanding what's going on here. And I will point out to you, now that we've hit the 6-hour mark, that I still don't know what Cameron Gerard Davis has done. And spoiler alert, when we hit the 8-hour mark or the 10-hour mark, I don't know how far we're gonna go. We're still not gonna know.
After 10 grueling hours investigating this vampire werewolf cult, I realized I've learned essentially nothing about Cameron Gerard Davis, the accused.
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared, lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet. She actually found herself ensnared in a dangerous cult.
No Moody video, did he put out? He's probably still doing it. Some of these things just take time, you know? I think they were supposed to coordinate it for the same day drop, though, but maybe it's just not out. It might still come out today. You don't know. Sometimes he drops the videos. Why is his voice pitched down? It's kind of a weird stylistic thing he does. It's kind of cringe to do the Batman Rachel voice all the time. It's just a thing he does for the videos. It's like an artistic choice, I guess.
Rachel! 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 Rachel!
Where's the part where Batman says it?
What do you need?
Isn't there a part when he says, Rachel?
Your name.
It's not who
Joseph Rogan. The podcast experience. Bert Kreischer is showing up soon. So epic.
Led by a predator.
Although the first girl they had play Rachel was way cuter. I don't know why they swapped her out for Katie Holmes. Not that she's not a gat, but the first girl was superior, just saying.
Posing as a werewolf god.
Based.
Max Striker's evidence provides without a shadow of a doubt that this might just be a video of a black man roaring like a wolf with fake vampire teeth.
By the way, the QR codes you guys see flashing on screen, Nick told me that if you scan those codes, you'll get access to like exclusive little videos or whatever, exclusive clips of the call. Let me see if I can catch one.
Werewolf god.
I'm gonna try to pause it right on time.
Max Striker's evidence provides without a shadow of a doubt that this might just be a video of a black man roaring.
Oh, I missed it. I can't try. Is that the QR codes for his Patreon? No, I think the QR codes are for like little clips of the call that he scattered here and there.
Like a wolf with fake vampire teeth in his mouth. Along with this compelling evidence, we also know details about his family, including his mother's name for some reason.
This video is for... I would like to extend my most heartfelt apology that this is how you have to find all of this out. But the fact of the matter is,
For context, they sent this to Camden Gerard Davis's mother, which is kind of strange. They sent it to Camden Gerard Davis's mom, basically, to try and inform him, like, inform her that, like, your son is a piece of cult leader or something. With no evidence whatsoever, by the way. It's literally just this video.
Son, Camden Gerard Davis, has been victimizing hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of
so epic.
You started to like direct your chat to tell them to go reach out to the mom and to the brother to find out information about Camden. Is that that's true, right?
I guess so.
You don't have any proof that they're even involved, right?
Correct. Thank you all for joining the stream and participating in this conversation.
He sounds so defeated. He sounds so sad.
We'll see you probably never again.
Jesus. She's just there. She's just there coping with the fact that this live stream was a disaster. I wonder if they're going to get mad at him for f***ing this story up. Because let's say it Israel, Palestine. Let's say it Israel, though. Think about how much he f***ed up the story for them and how, like, now, even if he tries to cover it, it's probably never going to be seen in a positive light and, like, the light it needs to be, treated with the severity and seriousness it needs to be, you know? Maybe someone else will cover it down the line if there's compelling evidence, but I mean, in my eyes, Max really f***ed this up.
And when people asked why his serious allegations were so over-dramatized and hard to understand, this was his answer.
What even is this?
So, the MamaMax universe.
Does he need to do the voice during this video? Is it really necessary? Is it that bad to use a normal voice? I feel like it's not that bad. I know I have kind of like a nasally annoying voice, but it's kind of easy to just use a normal voice on YouTube, no? I feel like it gets a point across better than like, Joseph Rogan, Shane Gillis. I think the corniness might immediately turn a bunch of people off from what you have to say. If you're trying to get the most amount of attention possible, I feel like it's more helpful to just not do that. He's insecure, but I've heard his normal voice before, and it's totally fine. Like, hold on, can I even find his channel's like impossible to find. Let's go here. Yeah.
Streaming now.
His voice is fine.
Let's see who's first.
It's not like he's ugly. He's like a very conventionally attractive dude. Like I feel like he could just use his normal voice. Doesn't have anything to be
sorry,
insecure
Linda,
about.
I know you've asked that so many times. We don't know. Like, so I thought I was gonna have it out probably a week after.
Yeah. Like, his voice is fine.
It's a cautionary tale that takes place in a dystopian future where child predators have seized global power, exploiting the digital landscape to entrench their rule.
The voice before vocal surgery? Oh, you mean the voice from, like, the Life Sucks videos or whatever? But I feel like then he was playing up the, like, sort of beta voice a little bit. I feel like nobody's voice, and even his voice does actually sound like this. Is it that big of a deal?
Slave homework is truly something that the universe cannot exist without. In fact, I'm willing to guess that despite the amount of apathy, stress, and pigeonholing that we are forcing on our children, the world would stop spinning without homework, okay?
It's not that bad. It's fine.
From the ashes of a society that failed to protect its most vulnerable.
I'm all for exposing predators, but the very try-hard presentation of his videos always makes them hard to get through. I mean, I was kind of fine with it, but I understand. I understand what you're saying. I wouldn't blame anyone for being turned off by it.
The children emerged. A covert network of vigilantes inspired by the style of Hotline Miami. Once victims, they are now hunters of the monsters who hurt children. They form a structured rebellion, seeking to dismantle the predatory hierarchy.
Yeah, I'm sure that helped everyone out. Max claims to be advising and protecting the 8 known victims out of Cameron's hundreds of potential
Okay, Nick, it's Camden. It says Camden on screen, Nick. Okay? Get his name right, at least. Come on, buddy. Big criticism here. It's Camden. I will not take the Cameron disrespect. Any cameras in chat, you're liable for damages for this video, okay?
Survivors, and yet we know next to nothing about him or really them. You can hear some spoken word testimony on a separate YouTube channel that was created by Spencer. Who is Spencer, you ask? A survivor who is now living with MamaMax.
I offered because it felt like the perfect storm. Like, it felt like, okay, clearly this is happening for a reason. I figured if I can just document the prime subject of my documentary, then why not just have her live with me? And since she needed a home.
Don't worry.
Well, it's kind of a conflict of interest if you're financially subsidizing the supposed victim of your case and you haven't even proven that she's innocent yet, right? Maybe after the fact it's okay, but the information isn't even out yet and you're letting her live with you.
He's hoping Spencer will be financially independent soon.
That's not to say it's going to be permanent. I do want to get Spencer to become independent at some point. We're going to get all her medical stuff done, basically everything. Like, you need to learn how to drive. We're going to do that.
But for some reason, the strapping young roommates decided to post a 4-hour podcast. Unfortunately for the both of them, the biggest takeaway from that podcast is that Max himself is being investigated by the FBI.
I literally got a card.
Really?
On my...
Wait, what does this Reddit post say?
From the FBI. Basically everything. Like, you need to learn how to drive. We're going to do that.
But for some reason...
Has anyone asked what Max means when he says he's contractually obligated to financially support Spencer? In his live stream, Max says twice he's contractually obligated to financially support Spencer. Has anyone ever asked what this contract is or why? That's a good question. Did he say contractually?
The strapping young roommates decided to post a 4-hour podcast. Unfortunately for the both of them, the biggest takeaway from that podcast is that Max himself
what kind of contract would he have to sign to financially support her?
Investigated by the FBI.
Is he committing fraud? I don't know about that.
I literally got a card on my front fence from the FBI. They didn't.
I think the FBI thing was that there was I heard there was some mega file he had that was like when he would release videos, sometimes he would release like an evidence dump, and I heard one of the mega files got taken down, and there was a message on the site that said like the FBI is investigating this or something like that. So I think that's what that was basically.
Bothered contacting you.
No.
That shows how much more they care about my case than yours.
And Spencer potentially admitted to a crime.
Did you ever recruit?
Yes. So my particular recruitment style, go on Whisper and post about, if you want to join a family dynamic, hit me up on Kick. There was one time he did have me lure a girl, like, physically.
That sounds fucking illegal.
Wait, shouldn't she be in jail then or something, or like, I don't know, punished in some way if she's actually doing that? That sounds kind of criminal. I mean, I guess she's a victim in some aspect if she chooses to expose him, but is it not a crime to lure a young girl into a cult, even if you're a part of it? Is it not a crime? I feel like it is. I feel like it must be. It must be.
Oh, what? I lured a girl physically.
We got an Uber and went and picked this girl up from like 30 minutes away from us, and she was like 13 or 14, and he kept trying to convince me to convince her to have...
Hold on, we'll replace the music on this, but I love the Jeffrey Epstein fan edits. There's definitely some of these on YouTube. Let's see, maybe this one.
I realize what I am. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. You're invoking your Fifth Amendment rights to each of these questions because you know that your answers will incriminate you and you feel that it will result in you being prosecuted for these crimes. Isn't that right? Well, in fact, the Supreme Court recently said that the Fifth Amendment right is there to protect the innocent.
All day at the gym. This is what I'm listening to. Based. People are assets. Based, true. Dude, that's the that Meat Canyon was on. That's why Miss Breezy was mad. Because Meat Canyon knew that she was an asset. He knew she was an asset to be used and squeezed for video editing purposes.
Sex with him, and I was like, no. Thankfully, her parents got her the next day. Me and Kayla are pretty sure
Listen, Max
went over there and he raped her after I was with my foster parents.
When your victim is going to talk about something where they're potentially implicating themselves in a crime, I mean, I don't know what age they were at the time, but regardless, like, you should absolutely be seeking legal advice before you even think about bringing this up.
Why this was uploaded at all, I will not understand. If anything, they're creating a defamation case for the man they hope to put in prison. MamaMax has chose to make a schizophrenic ARG adventure instead of a detailed allegation video with supporting evidence, so he can...
This is the thing. When he released this video, I gave him evidence. I gave him, not evidence, sorry. I gave him advice behind the scenes. I was like, you need to have more evidence in this. At least I'm pretty sure I told him that. I think I said, you need to have more evidence in this because this is extremely hard to follow. It was like, let's see here. Can we find, is the original video still up? It's probably down. Yeah, this video. Tell me what you guys get from this. Tell me what you understand from this.
Extraterrestrial factions of the same primitive species are at war with each other. They are both guilty for spilling the blood of children. Based on the pattern among this species, who will win the war?
What are you guys getting from this, like, Happy World Daddy editing video that's, like, trying to explain something about some cult that literally no evidence whatsoever? Comments were turned off, by the way, because I assume every comment was either like, this is, or what are we, what does this actually mean? Rogan. Dear Joe Rogan, you've welcomed a diverse range of guests on your podcast, offering different perspectives on various issues. As a father yourself, you would be the ideal person to help disseminate our message. What message? People can't even understand. I think there's only one clip of her talking about what happened in here somewhere.
And I've been confronted with this situation.
I think it's this.
There is danger out there. You shouldn't be walking through the world blindly thinking that everything is just sunshine and rainbows, because the sad reality is the world is a terrifying place at the end of the day.
You've got this picture of her, you've got this video of her.
Has been victimizing hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of minors.
How do you victimize hundreds upon hundreds of minors as one person? Unless you're literally Jeffrey Epstein with Little St. James. Like, how are you getting hundreds? Hundreds upon hundreds of hundreds? Doesn't that imply like 10, like almost 1,000, maybe upwards of 1,000? Thousands? How do you do that? How can one person do that? I don't understand. I don't.
Help protect and support women who put their trust in him.
Honestly, you do understand. If you go to court, they can pull these live streams for court. You do know that, right?
We are not going to court, Xylia.
So what are you doing? Just hunting them down like a deer? Is that what we're doing?
Have you not been listening the stream? So when we reached out to the lawyer, he told us it would not be beneficial to pursue a case against Camden Gerard Davis because he likely does not have substantial assets. So he recommended that we all go in person.
So you plan, okay, so you do plan to go to the police, right?
Of course.
If you go to police and say they say, okay, yay, we're going to go get him or whatever, I don't know, live in a dreamland, whatever you want to feel. Are you going to court after that?
I'm unsure about the entire process. I think that's the job of the district attorney, but the survivors would likely appear as witnesses.
What bothers me is your answer right there. You've been doing this for 5 years and you don't know how the process goes?
Like our style, don't like no evidence. I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, as like a schizo person, I do like the editing. Like, it's kind of nice, but some of the best editing in the world, by the way, is this stuff. I love this. Yeah, this kind of stuff. I love this. This, whatever this is Sam Hyde stuff, obviously, for like world peace type stuff, but I love these visuals. It's so nice. But like, this is like style over substance, right? You need to have something going on there. You need to have something in there.
How many people have you actually caught?
You need to have evidence.
MamaMax claims you have...
Fancy editing is great. Now I'm trying to bring attention to CSA. Well, no, actually, I disagree. Fancy editing is good when trying to bring attention to CSA because it makes it compelling and easy to watch for the average person, and they'll appreciate that. But you need to have the evidence on top of that. You need to have all of it in there. You need to have it meshing together. Presentation is important, but it's the icing on the cake for the actual substance of the video, which needs to be here. The substance, think of it like a cake. The substance of a video is the cake. The presentation is just the icing on top. My videos have decent editing. Like if you look at them, like me and the Turkey team, we put time into like refining the editing style and making it nice looking, obviously. Like with this video, we put a lot of effort into the visuals, a lot. With like these 3D animations. These are all custom 3D animations, by the way, that my editor did. Shout out to him. They look really nice. But you need to have substance behind it. You need to have something to talk about. If you don't have that, like, what are people going to get out of it? It's just a VFX reel, you know? It's just an editing reel.
Hunted predators for years.
I think the visuals are overwhelming, can't provide understandable info, but they don't have to be. You can incorporate, like, flashy visuals in such a way that you can actually also have the info in there, right? Like, that's a possible thing to do. You can do that. For some reason, MamaMax is not doing that, and I cannot fathom why. The thing that Mudahar said with, like, the screenshots that are, like, available for 1 second, you need to have them fully readable in the video so people can see what you're talking about.
Years, but it is more than evident that he has no idea what he's doing, and now his past has begun to come under fire.
Well, I guess the question is like that the Nick's getting at is like, okay, so you want to enact this change. What do you hope is the eventual result of your video?
Okay.
Of all of this.
So I know there's people out there saying I'm doing it to self-serve. I just want my video back up. I don't give a shit if my video comes back up. It did what it needed to do. The rapist that was in the video is currently in police custody.
Was that as a result of your video, or was that prior to the video?
Yes. People who often point to Pablo Sunny as MamaMax's major successful case, and people mention Max, when people question Max, this was the one his supporters referenced. Pablo Sunny. I don't even know if I remember this video. Pablo Sunny, MamaMax. For Pablo Sunny. Is this like another like edgy threat video?
Email. Subject line. Mama Maximus the Merciful, and attach a picture of your face with Max's written on your forehead, just so I know it's you.
Why not just make the video? Why the deep voice, like Batman presentation? Why not just expose the guy? Why do you got to toy with them? When my team was researching the Giggly Goon Clown stuff, they had to file multiple tips with the FBI because they came across foul. They had to file FBI tips. And like that's what you're supposed to do in these situations. That's what you have to do. You know, you have to report it to the authorities. Any evidence you have. Is my hair effed up now? That's whatever. Who cares? Who cares?
So it's because of the video.
I'm so sick of having predators that run away like Pablo Sunny and we don't get them. I am investing all of me into you and the Survivor, Spencer, because
MamaMax claims he needs help from all of these YouTubers, from, checks notes, Joe Rogan to Anthony Fantano, yet he refuses.
What is Anthony Fantano going to do? This is the weirdest thing. Are you just picking random famous people that you look up to? When has Anthony Fantano literally ever covered a case of or some weird cult? He literally makes like music reviews. He literally makes music reviews. Like, that is all he does. Why would he ever report on this?
Ronnie has dirt on Drake.
His videos feel like a creepypasta fangirl's wet dream. Makes you uncomfortable. I get that. But if he had evidence, I'll be fine. Like, I like stylistic stuff. I like the artistic side of YouTube. It's cool. You just have to have the evidence in there. You have to have the evidence in there. You have to report it to the police. You have to show it to the world. You have to show them everything. Literally everything. You have to show them. And it seems like he wasn't really doing that. This is a funny Fantano video, by the way. Shout out Ronnie Radke, the GOAT.
To accept any form of criticism.
MamaMax should have just made fictional videos. Editing style and God complex is embarrassing and inappropriate. I don't really get the, like, the visuals and stuff is cool. I don't really get the, like, mixing fiction with reality and, like, it's coming from the world of Hotline Miami. Like, why not just do that separately? Do your ARG stuff separately and then do the investigation videos here. Like, with someone like Nexpo is a great example of someone who has great presentation and covers serious topics sometimes. Like, he's had to cover really weird freaks, really, really weird people. You know, the cult in a boarding school, 7 million views. The presentation is beautiful. The visuals, this guy spends so much time on visuals. I'm like a little envious of how much time he spends because they look so nice. They're so aesthetic. They're so cool. He does these like cool 3D animations like Lemino does. Like, this stuff works. You can do this kind of artistic stuff. Look at this. This is so cool that a YouTuber can do this. It's like Netflix quality. But like you have to have the evidence in there too. You have to have it all in there. You have to have it with the presentation. And even Nextwell will get the criticism that he goes too far on the presentation. I don't really see that, but if you feel that way, that's whatever. If you really, you know, if you're really kind of not feeling it, you know, that's fine. But Nextwell at the very least does have like evidence in there. He tells the story. He has substance. MamaMax seems like he doesn't.
With a subject matter that matters and participants who deserve better.
Nextwell is always substance over presentation. Max is all
I want to see
presentation
this
over
motherfucker
substance.
behind
Yeah.
bars. But there's
Sadly.
there's a way to present this, there's a way to handle this before you get to that point, right? And that's what we need to be focusing on. That's like where everything needs to be centered on. It is where I'm at, and that's all I really can say about the situation.
I would have really appreciated this like 2 months ago when we first reached out. I reached out to you and multiple other creators asking for help, and none of you were responsive. I understand y'all are busy and doing your own things, but this is the first time I've ever handled a case of this complexity and magnitude, and that is why I was asking for help. To those of you who are saying I was putting the blame on Muda, I am not, but I do acknowledge that I need help with this case. That was my point, and
The first thing we definitely need to discuss is Max's failures in his current ongoing investigation. And these are failures, by the way. The vast majority of help that Max has been able to provide with his deep skill set and large platform is a botched social media campaign called #WeAreReal. The reason I cite this as a failure is simple. Nobody knows anything about the cult that Max claims to be exposing. In fact, I've referred to Camden Gerard Davis as Cameron throughout the previous 10 minutes of this video, and I guarantee that most people outside of content creators who've covered the story didn't even realize that. As we've touched on previously, MamaMax has moved in with one of the many girls that he's currently assisting, but records show that doesn't always seem to have been the plan.
I want to actually answer some questions about like why we're doing donations through my Patreon rather than a GoFundMe. That is because I'm contractually obligated to see this case through and make sure Spencer is taken care of. Spencer is moving over to me in a couple of days, actually, and we're going to find her own place, and I will be paying for all of it.
Not sure what he meant by contractually obligated, but it sounds to me like Max was planning on getting Spencer a place of her own, but at least right now, they live together. I guess he just...
Is MamaMax's Patreon still doing well? MamaMax Patreon. Let's see this. Oh, it's like shut down. He's got a bunch of free members, but it's like shut down, so you can't even donate. He shut it down. Interesting. Very interesting.
Just can't fake the step survivor atmosphere. But since money was mentioned, just to be clear, in exchange for this person's testimony, Spencer is receiving housing, income from Max's YouTube and Patreon, and also receiving the clout incentive from Max promoting her YouTube channel and placing integral parts of the investigation exclusively over there. This information does not, however, mean that Spencer is lying. What it does showcase is how
Nick's videos are so... Talk about presentation. This is good presentation with substance. His corny little voice, his New York accent sounds like Tony Soprano. The rap, the trap beat in the background. It's so epic, dude. I love Nick. I love Nick.
How unethical Max's investigation.
By the way, if you guys want to subscribe to this guy, I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I'll put it in the description when I re-upload this too. Subscribe to Nick Diorio. Subscribe to Nick Diorio. Nick Diorio is a guy who always does his due diligence with topics, as far as I've seen. And we did a collab years ago. If you guys have seen Turkey Tom, H3H3. We did a 2-part collab video. Here's the first one. You can see his second channel here. Or sorry, you can see his channel linked here. We did a fun collab back in the day. I'm still proud of this video to this day, I think. Some of the points are probably dumb, but...
Cared. We all had his back for years.
Well, my voice
we all
sounded
gave him the
different.
benefit of the doubt time and time again.
Wait, the outro was so fire. I forgot this. Doesn't Ethan dance at the end of this? I think he does.
Oh, day, afraid to go, hey. Oh, we sell the clowns around, it look like circus show, hey. This is not the album either, these are just stories. This is still so cold when it drops, it's gonna be a motherfucking stone, hey. Boy, it's good and he knows it. He don't say it, he shows it. I'm just like DeRozan. If I shoot it, it goes in.
Gotta do more presentation like that. Here's Nick's part.
Look it up. He's not intentionally encouraging people to look up
up.
Ethan's address. He's talking about the amount of wealth you've accumulated and used multiple web...
Yeah, shout out Nick. I love that. I want to do a collab with him soon again. Hopefully we'll run one. I'm doing a collab with Toastify soon, actually. You guys probably know Toastify. He makes good videos. We're doing some collab videos about Scott is Minecraft and popular MMOs. Great content creator. Makes great videos. Big shout out. Yo, what's up, Nick? Thank you for watching. We are real. Thanks, bro. I actually messaged Max to see if he would come on, speak his mind today. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'd imagine he's either, there's two options. He's either completely offline or he's obsessively watching all of this from the sidelines, like analyzing all of it and going schizo over it. So, you know, I'll see if we get a response from him. I would like to talk to him and get his thoughts, you know. I'd be willing to hear him out. Thanks for the dono though, Nick.
Have been since day one. If Max sweetening the pot isn't enough for you to get outraged over, I certainly wasn't expecting to find out last week on the MamaMax live stream that before all of this, Spencer was Max's close family friend.
Spencer has known my family her whole life. Oh no. She was in the same kindergarten class as my sister.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think y'all understand like the relationship here.
Like my aunt literally knows his mom.
Yeah, like we were friends before.
Screaming Nick is not green, conflict of interest to me. Like where Nick was like very inclined to believe Ethan and Lex because he personally was friends with them, and you know, obviously his best friend at the time, Ethan, who I don't think they're friends anymore, was dating Lex, and so he just believed all of that stuff, and he kind of knew Leighton, so he believed that. I'm kind of sussed out by this. I feel like there might be something weird going on here. I probably wouldn't cover anything regarding my family if anything crazy happened. I probably would not. Just because like I'm involved, I'd rather let other people cover it. I'd be willing to do interviews about it and talk to people about it, but I would rather not cover it on my channel because it's like that's a clear conflict of interest. I'm going to be pulled in, you know, whatever which way, obviously, you know, because I have personal bias.
Or we were like actually on a case. Like,
oh no, great video by the way. Good video, dude. I miss your videos so much, dude. Are you gonna post more?
I should, because I didn't expect to take my dead channel and get a 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. How many views does it have behind the scenes? Because obviously it's
30,000.
Whoa, I'm proud of you, dude, for getting a video out. You got this done in like 4 days.
Dude, I gained back all the subs I lost from not posting in 2 years.
Dude, good stuff. I don't know if you heard on stream. I messaged Max if he would come on. What do you think Max is doing right now?
I think he's probably filming a video about like stabbing a toy or something like that and telling everybody it's gonna rape somebody, or I don't know, whatever people who lie do.
That's interesting. A little bit of a correction. I did manage to find Max's actual Patreon apparently, and it's still up, and he's still got actually can't even see the amount of members, but it's called Striker Films here. No, I thought it was down because I looked at MamaMax and I found a Patreon that said MamaMax, but it had 245 members.
Films now, yeah. He used to. I think he at peak Muda said he made $15,000 a month to not hunt.
Right. Do you want to watch your own video with me, or are you gonna dip?
No, I gotta go grab dinner and do some other. Dude, I haven't slept in like 3 days.
I understand.
I did get this out in 4 days, but I did a month's worth of work, dude.
Yeah.
12-hour editing sessions. I'm gonna pass out in a minute anyway.
Well, you're kind of made up for the past 7 years of no work. See you, bro. Take care. All right, we'll keep watching.
This is not some stranger that Max is helping out of the kindness of his heart. This is a family friend who's getting a shiny new YouTube channel, some pocket cash to start, and a place to sleep. And for those reasons alone, we could and probably should stop here. Max is not fit to take this case on for Spencer. But it's not just about Spencer, even though it kind of seems that way. 23 days after Max launched the hashtag #WeAreReal campaign, another survivor named Kai, from what is alleged to be her OnlyFans Facebook page, was begging for $20. This $20 would of course be used for wipes, diapers, and eggs for her 2-year-old child. There are now legitimate concerns to raise about how the funds are being distributed.
Why is Max even subsidizing these people at all? They shouldn't just get money from this story. Thanks for the 10 spoops. They shouldn't just get money from this story. Like, that's kind of strange.
To the survivors. And Max, I want to see a paper trail.
To support this effort, all donations received in October via our Patreon will be allocated for this legal process. All additional funding will be used to film this story.
So just to be clear, guys, the money is going to make more of these amazing videos and not to little kids who need diapers.
Where's the donations going towards? Not that I doubt it won't be going to a good cause for survivors. It's going to the legal case. Spencer's handling all the money. Oh no. I am sending it to her. She is the financial manager of the legal case.
Oh no. Why is one of the victims in charge of all of the money? Why are you not in charge of all of the money? Ethical complaints and money trails aside, I've already
Max
told
will send the hitman after you. Be careful. What's this thing I hear about Max having? Like, he's like, I have shooters that will die for me. He's talking about his Patreon supporters. What does that mean? What does that actually mean? Kind of sussy wussy, no? Just a little bit.
Told you, Max's videos on Camden are hard to follow. I've showed you an example of how Max responds to criticism as well. Now let's take a closer look at the actual content made for this investigation. Max has released a total of 3
Airsoft and Co. 2 for 7 says, if Max is contractually obligated to support Spencer, he's not supporting the others. Doesn't it give the victim incentive to drag this and dramatize? Yeah, of course, which is a conflict of interest because now they're like, how do I get money out of it? Well, you should just be concerned with making the video in its full, you know, and like getting the evidence out there. I mean, for example, like my video about Giggly Goon Clown, not to say I'm super virtuous, because obviously all my videos, I try my best to monetize them. I am trying to monetize every video I make. I want to, because I put time and effort into it. But like with my Giggly Goon Clown video, that video got limited ads like a day after I posted it. Probably made no money. I was okay with that. I'm not going to take it down and try to re-upload it. Like whatever, it's a dark subject. I'll make the money back on other videos. Like sometimes you got to take a hit. Why is there like a clear financial incentive to make money off of this case right now?
main channel videos on the subject matter of the hashtag #WeAreReal campaign. The first of which is titled Brainwash Your Favorite Influencer Trigger Warning.
Welcome to your programming. Kindly send this video to your favorite influencer.
Oh, you didn't know? In one of Max's old videos, he claims to hire hitmen to go after predators? What? Really? That is egregiously illegal. To hire a hitman? And that definitely voids the legal process. I mean, it's fun to be like, oh, let's kill him. You know, I mean, that's kind of fun to say in Minecraft. But you can't do that. You can't make a public statement saying you're hiring hitmen. Spencer says she was 16 at the time of the Camden situation. In the state of Georgia, the statute of limitations is 7 years. She's over the statute. She has no case. Interesting. Well, even if she has no case, it could still be covered on, you know, a video and get the evidence out there, right? That would be good. Hashtag we are real. Yeah, can we get some hashtag we are reals in chat, guys?
About a third of this 10-minute video is a criticism of cult psychology, and not even the actual issue. Only a few minutes of the video is dedicated to both Camden and Spencer, and 1 full minute of the video is Max begging for shoutouts from large YouTubers and social media icons. The second video is longer, 25 minutes, and it's predominantly a response by Max to his critics.
Your profile picture already speaks volumes about where you're coming from.
In it, Max complains about the first video bombing, and he about the creators who won't drop everything at a moment's notice and cover the all of zero evidence he's distributed thus far for the Camden cult.
We proactively reached out to many different reaction channels, hoping to pique their interest in engaging with a topic of such grave importance. Yet the very purpose of the video falls short when these creators stop responding.
It can be a topic of grave importance, but I mean, once again, like, we watched the video together, Max. We watched this. What reaction are people supposed to give to a schizophrenic video with no evidence or details about what's actually going on? I'm just trying to expose this cult. If you want people to react to it, you need solid evidence. Even beyond that, a lot of people aren't even incentivized to actually go over this case because it's easily demonetized on YouTube. And I can't blame anyone for that because these people are running businesses, you know. Are you expecting Azzyland to cover this, the reaction channel who reacts to TikToks? Is she supposed to react to this? She's not she's not a police officer. What are you expecting to come from that? I'm not saying he hit up Azzyland, but like people like that, like Oompaville or Charlie, like they're not police investigators, you know. They're trying to make like content that makes money on YouTube. The theory is the FBI is investigating him not because of the mega file, but because many of his videos incite violence and include genuine threats. Well, that'll be a good reason to investigate him, right? Probably.
And the other survivors, we are real.
It's just random schizo babble. There's nothing actually substantive in there. There's nothing for people to actually react to. What are they supposed to comment on? Oh, I like the editing. That's all I can say. That's all I managed to say is I like the presentation. But you need to have more than presentation. You need to have substance.
And choose not to engage. Only a handful out of the tons we reached out to gave any type of feedback whatsoever.
Fun little side note, this is actually around the time that Max reached out to me and sent a psychotically worded threat for not covering the story up until this point. Your silence will not be unnoticed. Well, how'd that end up working out for you? At the 21-minute mark, Max throws Spencer on screen to defend him from
Nick's definitely not being silent now, but it's not in the way he wanted. This is a media team viral marketing project, not just one lone psycho. Max is the face. You can make mad money when you're not hindered by self-awareness or a moral compass. Do you have literally any evidence for that? because I don't think there's a media team behind Max. Also, if it's viral marketing, it didn't exactly work. If there's actually educated, talented people behind this, how the f did it fall so short? I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe anybody who has any experience in viral marketing worked on this.
Criticism.
This video feels very exploitative itself.
Your feelings about the video, without explaining further, are noted. Here's a message from the survivor herself.
So cringe.
Oh no.
Hey everyone, I'm Spencer. I am here to talk today about some of the reactions towards the trailer.
Is Destiny live? Yo, Steven.
Hello?
Hey, are you live?
Yeah, what's up, babe?
You want a video to react to? Kind of up your alley?
Maybe. What's it about?
It's about a vigilante on YouTube who f***ed up a predator case and potentially ruined the entire thing for the victims.
Wait, MamaMax?
Yeah. There's a good video by Nicholas Diorio that just came out I'm reacting to. I think you'd enjoy it.
Why would you send me to react to somebody else's video?
That's what you do.
Yeah? How much did he pay you to come in here and talk to me? Why am I not going to cut it?
$300,000, and I can give you a small cut of that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll think about it. Maybe I'll check it out, okay?
I'm going to send you a link. Okay. Be safe, buddy.
Okay, bye.
What I do not appreciate is people being offended on my behalf.
This is the first example of a pattern of behavior exhibited where Max hides behind.
Why is he living with her unless he's trying to bust? Okay, there's no evidence of busting going on, to be fair. There's no evidence of busting. Literally none. No evidence of busting. Nick actually paid Tom $100,000, dude. I'm on payroll. Nick is a billionaire. You guys don't even realize.
Spencer to shield himself from
Deny the busting allegations, okay?
criticism. Please note this now because we will be coming.
The live stream tonight got me thinking. I do not think MamaMax is qualified or ready to be handling real victim stories. I'm concerned that MamaMax is gravely mishandling Spencer's case and giving her false hope due to his naive understanding of the legal system. But before you ask, yes, I do work in the system. MamaMax claims he is raising money to get Spencer a lawyer so they can press charges against Camden. He also called Spencer the primary plaintiff in this case. However, Spencer has stated that she escaped the call 7 years ago, which puts her case outside of the statute of limitations in the state of Georgia. Some could argue it's a federal case, but federal cases often have an even something shorter, I assume. The shorter statute of limitations, typically 5 years.
Coming back to it later. Finally, the video ends off with Max retreading a similar story of the allegations against Camden from the video I showed you earlier and in this video.
Hello, friends, it's me. Oh, who the heck are you clicking on my video? Well, let me be the first to welcome you to my channel.
Now, number 3 is a weird one. I've gone back and forth on this, but I think I've settled on it being the worst of both worlds and a Frankenstein version of the previous 2 videos. It's another 20 minutes of weird, edgy cult psychology stuff that really makes Max sound like he read a book and a few Wikipedia pages and now thinks he's an expert. This one contains either—
This was a criticism I had of Max behind the scenes, like why delve into all this cult psychology when you can work it in with the actual substance? You need to have substance to this case.
Less about the actual investigation and notably clickbait.
There's a limitation on SA cases. Gotcha. Is there? Hold on. I think is that federally? Federally. Maine. Great. Don't care about that. It looks like it's just state by state, basically. Interesting.
Clickbaited Charlie hard. Like a predator hunter, clickbaiting Moist Critical is fucking crazy.
Yeah, so here, you want me to talk about it a little bit? That rubbed me the wrong way. We talked like a month ago about like what he was working on in his investigation, and then apparently when I had COVID, he messaged me a couple times and I never saw it, and now he's taken that as me ghosting him and ignoring his very important mission. I had COVID. I barely used Discord in the first place. It was a miracle I ever even saw his message to begin with. And during that time, apparently it changed his whole framing of the video in order to make it like a Trojan horse of cancel critical, because he didn't respond to my messages and ghosted me.
And for what? To just keep crying that nobody gives your case a free clout transaction? In response to the criticism he got, Max ended up changing the clickbait to Sniper Wolf instead, which I guess is better for some reason because, well, she's liked less. I guess it's a little better because he doesn't just imply she's a predator like he did with Charlie. It's still weird in my personal opinion, though. Alongside those 3 videos, we also have the 4-hour podcast that I previously mentioned, and it contains entirely spoken word testimony and currently lives exclusively on Spencer's personal YouTube channel. This is the most information.
Auntie Spencer. I haven't even watched this. 5 hours is so much, though. There's no way I can react to this thing. You Can't Hurt Me podcast number 1.
Is there anything you'd like to say to Camden?
You, I ship with me. I was just.
So scrolling through, not a
He
single
brainwashed all of
screenshot,
us so.
not a
like
single
this
piece of
every day.
evidence.
Seeing like
All just witness testimony. You need more than this. We got this. We're stronger than him. We'll get our justice. This is so powerful. I mean, I guess in a sense it's powerful. Part A. Look at good music taste. Villain Era by Bryce Savage. 2 party songs, that's it. Short party.
Information we've gotten about Camden's supposed actions thus far, and it contains nothing actionable that a content creator can use as a foundation for a video. Finally, there were the main channel live streams, and these are by far the worst of the bunch. Much of the same spoken word testimony exists here. Much of the same poor response to criticism exists here. It's also much of the same in terms of complaining about YouTubers not signal boosting him. But the variable here is that he brings in all of Camden's victims and makes them watch.
Every MamaMax new survivor just dropped live stream. Got the Smaggle Daggle debate viewer share. Shout out Smaggle, making it big, dude. Making it huge.
As he debates random people.
I just want to start off with this. As you can tell, I'm very autistic. And
True.
I just want to let you guys know that if I slip up and say the R word, I have the pass. So just so well.
Glad that's in there.
All right.
I'm sure this was the productive discussion these survivors envisioned when you told us they wanted to be on the live stream. I'm sure it's what they needed to prove their legitimacy. The constant deflection and usage of survivors as meat shields is also a much more predominant issue on these live streams.
There's a way to present this, there's a way to handle this before you get to that point, right? And that's what we need to be focusing on. That's like where everything needs to be centered on. It is where I'm at, and that's all I really can say about the situation. But Max, me and Nux told you about this weeks ago, almost a month.
QR code. Hold on, I'm gonna try to get that.
So a much more predominant issue on these live streams.
There's a way to present this, there's a way to handle this before you get to that point, right? And that's what we need to be focusing on. That's like where everything needs to be centered on. It is where I'm at, and that's all I really can say about the situation. But Max, me and Nux told you about.
Oh, links to a YouTube video.
Yes, so I would like to explain my position on this.
Sure.
So the purpose of the NDA.
Hold on. I'm gonna send this to myself so I can open this on my computer instead of the autism way to do it. Cheers to Smaggle, real man of the people. True.
Yes, so I would like to explain my position on this.
Sure.
So the purpose of the NDA is to protect the survivors. Like, that is why the NDA protects their anonymity, and for them to be able to give the approval of what they want to share.
So I was told that the point of the NDA was so that I wouldn't talk about the video before it was released, which I didn't do. I didn't talk about it before it was released. I don't know if an NDA is valid if you sign it over Discord. Like what he had me do is, he like sent me the NDA. I read it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I typed my name physically, and that was the NDA. Is that a valid NDA? Is that, can somebody who is experienced on contracts tell me if that's valid, or do you need to use DocuSign?
But we do want to like let people in and see like what is occurring here. It's just my priority has been to
digital signature. Well, it was all just in a Discord chat though.
The survivors.
Okay, but you do understand. Say Charlie looks at everything, hypothetical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Charlie can't then go, guys, there's a predator on the loose. I saw it on Discord. That wouldn't be sufficient for his audience. It's one thing to get somebody on board and to get moral support behind the scenes and join a group chat. It's another thing to get actual support, the stuff that you're looking for, and you won't get that until you show more publicly.
Right, and I guess the challenge for me with showing the evidence is I personally have not been walked through the evidence besides Spencer's. The survivors in the server, not all of them are as active as we would like.
So he doesn't even have, does he even have the evidence for everything?
Them to be. Obviously, a lot of them have trauma. They talk about it, and that it's hard for them to actually just sit down and.
So he doesn't even know if all these other people are victims. He thinks Spencer is. I guess he's seen some evidence. He doesn't know if these other people are even real victims at all.
And speak with me.
This hundreds of hundreds claim is bunk.
But that's why I've been just asking the general public to please be patient. Like
well, if you want to be patient, just wait till you have all the evidence reviewed and then drop the video. Just wait till you have it all, no matter how long it takes.
A lot of things we need to wait for. I am just trying to get the word out that this is Camden Gerard Davis. This is what the accusations against him are.
If somebody gain coverage and more proof will pop up, that is a horrible way to go about almost anything.
And it's also, you can also like, we are fine saying this is all alleged. Like we are fine if
you can't just say it's alleged now.
No, because Yeah, 100%. That's not.
Yeah.
I'm fine doing it because I trust them. But
That's not enough. I trust them. You publicly made a pedophilia accusation, and your evidence is, I haven't reviewed it. I trust them. That is so damning. This is a horrible clip.
All I wanted to do.
But you said you didn't review most of the evidence besides Spencer, though.
I reviewed the evidence. I just haven't had the context as to what it is pertaining to.
So you don't even know the context is the most important part, because it could all be completely out of context.
But you don't understand.
Yeah, in the exact timeline, which has been just one of many reasons why it's been such a struggle to create the comprehensive timeline, as I'm waiting on a lot of different things.
But you see, that's why people are inflamed with you right now. It's because you just told me in this call that you didn't properly review every single victim, and now you're comfortable calling a man, right? Like, you know.
If he has legitimate proof, why isn't this dude in jail? Good question.
Whatever happened, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Wallahi, bro.
You're
True.
calling him a pedophile. Now you're saying in this call that we're fine using the term allegedly. You've been calling this a pedophile, and you've been having this expectation that we just jump on board when, you know, you are the chief investigator in this. It's not me, it's not Nick, it's no one else. You are the chief storyteller, the investigator, the person who has, we believe that you were the only person up till now who has reviewed every single bit of evidence and put the context into your head. And if you've only read Spencer's, which is fine, that's one testimony, we've been told that he has trafficked hundreds of people.
Yes.
Is there evidence now that there are hundreds of people?
Max doesn't even know if there's hundreds.
5 or 6.
So we can get into the public stuff at a later time.
Bad.
I would like for.
Oh my God, this is bad. Wow. I hope that full call gets released soon, just in order.
This weeks ago, almost a month at this point. Exactly.
MamaMax's evidence, trust me, bro. I mean, it is literally that.
I
meme. It's
am
literally
working
the trust me, bro meme.
At the
Do you think Charlie fell off? No, I like Charlie.
My platform is for the survivors. And if they want to stream, that is what we're going to do. We're going to stream.
The nature of live content is inherently volatile. Everyone knows this. At any moment, you could say something stupid, and now it exists online in some capacity forever. I imagine you're now wondering why anyone in Max's position would want to take civilian abuse survivors and subject them to such scrutiny. I mean, they're building a case to get Camden prosecuted, right? Well, actually, as of late November, an entire month after the hashtag #WeAreReal campaign started, it sounded like we were gearing up for a civil case, or at the very least, no one was interested in getting police involved.
When's the last time that
any
of this?
Wait, that's so funny. They made a bingo card for stuff he could do on live stream. Mentions Nick streams, covert legal threat, burps into mic. I'm contractually obligated. NDA. Can't talk about that. Can't release evidence. I consulted experts in the call. Kai was whatever. Contact us through Twitter then. That's so funny. The live streams were just such a mess that people were able to find the the typical tropes from everyone on his own subreddit, MamaMax fan club.
Right? Well, actually, as of late November, an entire month after the hashtag #WeAreReal campaign started, it sounded like we were gearing up for a civil case, or at the very least, no one was interested in getting police involved.
When's the last time that any of this has been brought to any authorities like the FBI or police?
Probably about 3 years ago.
3 years. So you guys, now that you guys have this, and how long have you guys been sort of talking to MamaMax, or how long have you guys all been talking?
For like 2.5 years.
Well, now that you guys are sort of getting a case together, don't you think it'd be a better idea to, before the video, to give it to the authorities again, now that you're like all together and you can sort of go as a collective to the police?
I mean, we could have done that, but at the same time, with the track record that we've already seen, it just didn't really seem realistic without having more of us survivors to do this.
Yes, I feel the urgency of the matter requires all of us to start bringing the survivors together. I don't want to wait for the bureau.
Why was this not done before the video came out? I don't understand. Why was this not done before the live streams? Why did you not have all the evidence? This is the conflict of interest is so clear. I trust the victims. I trust they're telling the truth. Cameron Gerard Davis, destructive cult leader, victimized hundreds of minors. Find him. He's calling to dox this guy that he doesn't even know if he did anything wrong.
Bureaucracy of law enforcement to take their time when it's already been 7 years with multiple reports.
Well, maybe
that's
the people
ridiculous.
didn't have evidence. Maybe you didn't have evidence of anything. And that's the problem, dude. Maybe the reason why it's been 7 years, nothing's gone through, is because you have no evidence that any of this happened. You're the lead investigator. You don't even know. Trust me, bro. I trust them. I trust them. I trust them. I trust the victims. You don't even know if they're victims. You have no idea who the they are. I could be a victim right now. I could be like, I'm a victim of Camden Gerard Davis and get in that Discord. Oh my God.
To court as well, because this is absurd.
Yeah, you heard that right. At the time of this stream, they had been working on this case for years and didn't think it was worth looping in authorities in any capacity. The last time cops even saw the Spencer case was well before she looped in MamaMax. While by all accounts this clip is absolutely unhinged, it is worth noting that Max said the exact opposite in his most recent live stream. In fact, I've already played you this clip.
So when we reached out to the lawyer, he told us it would not be beneficial to pursue a case against Camden Gerard Davis because he likely does not have substantial assets.
What victim do you know that wants to be the center of YouTubers' video series? I mean, sometimes it can be helpful for a victim to get their voice out, but a lot of the time a real victim will, I'm not saying Spencer's not a real victim because I don't know, but ultimately innocent until proven guilty for Camden at the very least. A lot of them will want to hide. I've seen a lot of cases where victims want to be completely anonymous because they don't want their life to be tied to this forever publicly and just relive the past constantly. They'd rather just escape it, you know? Do you think Charlie's a bit of a simp when it comes to covering drama that has to do with females? I don't know. You tell me. I don't think so. I like critical. Fill me in on what the deal is there, and maybe we'll get into it.
So he recommended that we all go in person to report him to the police station that is in his jurisdiction.
Well, now that you guys are sort of getting a case together, don't you think it'd be a better idea to, before the video, to give it to the authorities again, now that you're like all together and you can sort of go as a collective to the police?
So he recommended that we all go in person to report him to the police station that is in his jurisdiction.
This means that after all the videos, streams, and podcasts were filmed, uploaded, and reacted to, Max finally went to a lawyer who basically told him his entire plan for these women completely sucked, and now he's dramatically changing course in real time. Once again, Max is unfit to be spearheading a case of this size.
I designed this
This is the thing I don't understand. Like, with a case like this, with this much magnitude and has this much going on, you have to have a lot of tact. You have to have a lot of tact. You have to have your research on point. You have to have your evidence on point, and you need to make sure everything is squared away before you do anything publicly. Max had a Patreon that was paying for his expenses. He had people paying for him to exist so he could do this consistently. I think at one point, I think he was making $7,000, $8,000 a month off of his Patreon. He had enough, well, more than enough money to just do his own and like exist, you know? He didn't need the money. So why the impetus to rush out this case?
Trailer as a catalyst for meaningful discussions, laced with hidden layers and nuanced elements to encourage in-depth analysis. These secrets are breadcrumbs that guide viewers toward a deeper understanding of these.
Can somebody just show us what he did? Since this situation was so poorly handled, there are still things I'm leaving out just to make the video watchable. But like, why would he change his channel name to God Cult? I'm sorry, I didn't mention that.
After consulting with multiple experts.
Just make it extremely difficult for anyone to even find it and talk about it. Change your name to God Cult. Change your entire branding and personality. Good move, dude. That definitely helped the victims out a lot. That made them feel way better, I bet.
In cult psychology, it became clear to me that many influencers employ cult-like techniques to build and retain their audiences.
Dude, this is the weirdest thing. He was telling me he was like cult-like techniques, like Sniper Wolf. What is the cult-like technique of Sniper Wolf? What the f is the cult-like technique of Sniper Wolf? That she's hot? I mean, I guess I'm in that cult then, because Sniper Wolf can dox me in Minecraft, but realistically, like, what is the cult-like tendency of the average YouTuber? Just that they have like a loyal fan base who likes them? Is that literally it? I remember telling him this behind the scenes. I was like, you can't be like, it's ridiculous to compare a real cult to a YouTuber. YouTubers are not running cults. YouTubers are not running cults. YouTubers are making YouTube videos. The Discord cult. Where's the evidence, bro?
For this reason, I chose to brand the channel as God Cult.
Like, for his big investigation, he made all of the video metadata unrelated to the subject matter, and he's begging us to take him seriously because all that accomplished was making sure.
This is the thing. Like, is Max going through some kind of mental break? Is there something wrong with him? Chud Logic did a stream actually, where he talked about Max's ex-girlfriends. I don't even know a lot about this, but he basically painted Max in a very like mentally unwell state, and that seems to line up with what's going on right now. Is it this video? I think he used the term psycho girl. It's not. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of these videos somewhere in here that he talks about MamaMax and talks about how he's like a psychotic person. We'll try this one and then we'll move on because I don't want to spend too much time trying to figure it out. Well, here we go.
Was pretty robust. Yes, he did do some of the stuff. At least it's proven, and he admits himself that he did at least
He's a complete psychopath. He's not. Don't get. Listen, it's tempting to really, run to the ends of the earth with this. He's not a psychopath. He's not. I mean, he's kind of weird, I guess, but he's not a psychopath. He's not like a deranged person. He seems like he got swept up in this situation because his family friend, being Spencer, was involved in it, and he just ran with it because he thought that it was proven because of her, and it really wasn't.
A big portion of the stuff that is claimed. He was a psychotic freak that stalked and harassed this woman. Yes, he did do that. I mean, why is the way people speak about it after the fact? People are just like, well, yeah, he was a bit mean, wasn't he? And all the allegations. No, there's police reports, contemporaneous police reports, and a message of him apologizing for the psycho behavior as well. But people talk about it like he was just, badly maligned.
I love Chud Logic, by the way. Shout out to this guy.
I just don't think that's really fair. Right, I think if you're going to talk about it, you've got to do it in a way that accurately represents what he did.
I don't buy it. He's malicious. I don't think he's malicious. Even if he is, he doesn't have to be a psychopath. That's a very heavy word.
And I'm not saying he needs to be destroyed or anything.
He has 5 XGFs accusing him of abuse. Yes, he is. I mean, okay, just because you have accusations doesn't mean they're guilty. Doesn't mean you're guilty or anything. But it is weird to me that Max instantly believes the allegations about this guy, Cameron Gerard Davis, despite no evidence and only witness testimony, when he has 5 ex-girlfriends accusing him of being a crazy person. And we're not supposed to believe that. That is weird. But I don't even know all the details there,
Something like that over it. I don't really agree with that. But to act like it was just a minor relationship issue is insane. When he was filing police reports against this guy. It's nuts. What he was doing was crazed. Maybe he's changed somewhat. I mean, other people say they've had issues since. I don't think it's quite as bad as what he did then. So he probably has changed. But can we at least talk about it accurately if we're going to talk about it, for fuck's sake? And the other thing to bear in mind as well, okay, further to that, is the second girl's story, where she claims that she was 17 and he claimed to be 18 when they meet, and then later found out he was older, all that business, goes on to say that, like, a talk about that can't really be confirmed or whatever, one way or another. But, like, I was thinking, and this is something Creeman pointed out, which is a very good
his
point,
age, that's pretty odd.
And it got me to thinking, what would MamaMax do if the tables were turned?
What would he do?
His main subscriber base didn't see his big video. In reality,
What is with this meme saying Leviathans are coming for you? What is a Leviathan? A biblical sea monster identified in different passages with the whale and crocodile. This thing is coming for me. Should I be scared? Do I need to learn jujitsu if these things are coming for me? What's going on? One of the top comments in one of my recent videos. What one was it? Was it? I think it was this one. MamaMax. I don't. No, it must be. Hold on, this one. There was some comment that got heavily upvoted that was like, Leviathans are coming for you, Turkey Tom. I was like, what is this? Should I be afraid? What's going on? Not a real monster? You never know.
Most people probably thought they were subscribed to a YouTuber who was hacked. And this misstep was not just a direct contributing factor, it is the reason his video bombed. Instead of realizing this and course correcting, the narcissistic man-child in charge blamed literally everyone else in this situation while acting like he's God's gift to abuse survivors in the same breath.
I had hoped that influencers, especially those who've interacted with my content before, would step up. Unfortunately, it seems that self-preservation outweighs child welfare for most influencers.
For someone
Bad Dragon says, I'm the Leviathan. Hopefully that means more donos from you.
Who claims to be so righteous and humbly asking busy YouTubers for support. Imagine my shock when Muda and I sat down with Max, only to be berated by both him and Spencer for not doing more.
Yeah, why are you putting it all on me?
Because it's your case!
That is such a crazy thing. Obviously, I can't... Nick says it here, but it's your case. Like, Max is the person covering this. He's the person who's, like, giving the story out. Why are you putting it on me? Because it's your case. Like, people need to see the evidence because you're the one who's bringing it to the public.
He's the one bringing it. Why are you
Absolutely. I am the first one.
Yeah.
You are the only one. You haven't convinced anyone.
Leviathan's this, werewolf, vampire that. Whatever happened to the Draugrs and Minotaurs? Good question, Dakota. Thank you for the 5.
To come on board yet.
You haven't convinced exactly.
That's
you haven't
because
made
you haven't been listening to them.
That's because you haven't been giving anybody anything to
My favorite mythical creature, side note, is Medusa. The snakes, dude. Talk about sloppy toppy.
work with.
This for months.
Yeah, and
why,
I've had a 2-hour
Muta,
long
why,
call, and I'm
Muta,
not moving anywhere close to the situation.
Muta, why can't you take initiative to talk to other survivors?
Well, I'm talking to you right now more than anybody else.
And mind you, this is after.
Also, this thing, why can't you take initiative? It's not his case, dude. It's not everybody's responsibility to talk about your thing. I'm sorry, you're not entitled to have your experience talked about by anyone. You're not. Max became infatuated with a girl he never dated. He stalked and harassed her for years. He carved her new BF's name in his arm and then tried to game end himself. He was military discharged with his police records. Jesus. Well, I mean, that's kind of sad. I kind of feel bad for him if that's the case. Jesus. Going through it, dude. Down bad. You can't catch yourself carving for a girl. Shout out to the carvers, dude. Shout out to the carvers worldwide. That's sad. I feel bad for him.
Max broke Mudahar's trust by using Mudahar viewing evidence privately and signing an NDA so he can't discuss what he saw as like a clout transaction so the audience
Muda,
will
just do
believe
our
the
job.
evidence exists.
Yeah. We have evidence in a Discord server.
With other influencers as well.
Yes, you can ask Mudahar.
Why am I there? Why is 50 Cent Turkey Tom there just on screen? Big question here. The Crazy Cutter. Shout out to the Crazy Cutters, Wavy.
Or if he's seen some of the evidence.
This is like beyond messed up. Here's a prime example of Max using Spencer as a human shield.
Well, I'm asking why you did not directly contact me, but contact us only in public streams.
Let's see, I contacted you November 27th. Max, I've seen your latest video. I've caught up with this whole situation. I have texted you.
What it felt like seeing him on streams?
You went on with Tommy and Lyrics and are sitting there talking to them when you literally haven't spoken to the other survivors.
Hold on, can you put Max on for a second?
I'm right here.
Once again, like, I mean, it sucks for her, but you can't expect anyone to cover your case except for you. Like, it's the burden of evidence is on you, not on anyone else. The burden of evidence, the burden of getting the story out there, the burden of proving it is literally not anybody but yourself. But yourself. It's not Mudahar's responsibility. I mean, he covers dark cases sometimes, don't get me wrong, but he's got a full docket. He's got stuff to talk about. He's got stuff to do. It's not his responsibility. It's the responsibility of you. If you get the police involved, it can be their responsibility. MamaMax said he wanted to cover the story actively, so now that he's involved deep, it's his responsibility. It's not Mudahar's responsibility. It's not Joe Rogan's responsibility. Okay? I love Joe Rogan. Don't get me wrong. I love Joe Rogan. There's some Joe Rogan hate out there. I love Joe Rogan. But I'm not expecting this guy.
Just come to make sure your baby's okay.
I'm not expecting this guy to do a deep dive on your cult case.
Crazy 800-pound silverback
What's
bursting
wrong with
through the
people?
trees. Gets right in your face. He's
Monkey
got fangs,
mode.
And he only eats feet and tail hanging out of his mouth. He's going just slowly choking this thing down, eating this entire monkey whole. And the tail and the little feet are poking out. It's like see if you can find that. Down chasing him.
This guy, the guy who's saying, see if you can find that. See if you can find the beast eating a monkey is the guy that you're trusting to cover your essay story. Spoiler alert, 10617, hilarious. Gotcha. Well, we're getting there. We've been taking our time on this video, but we'll get there. Joseph Rogan.
Boom!
Yeah.
Snap.
The bear caught up to the moose and broke its back
With a slap.
Just bang! And the moose is slams against the.
I love seeing Joe talk about this stuff. My dad has become Joe Rogan pilled recently, but I think part of it is like my dad is kind of like Joe, where he just likes seeing animals rip things apart. So like the things that my dad will send me over text is like Tony Soprano memes, which I love, by the way. Man, if my dad's not watching this, but spiritually, I love you, Dad. I'm gonna cry. But Tony Soprano memes, or he'll send me a video of like a bear eating a deer and be like, this is crazy. This is crazy, right? This is crazy. It is crazy. Hey, Jamie, pull up the clip of Tom being that type of guy. True.
Oh, I'm coming after you, Mudahar. Stand back, stand back. Spencer, can you tell him what you felt? You are literally just a little snake hiding behind her, dude. That's disgusting.
Will you listen to me? Can you listen to me?
Max is upset that Muda is going against him and flings Spencer at him like a rag doll. Since you already know about the leaked recordings, you should also probably know about...
It's funny to think about them being in a call together, because then you realize that Max and Spencer are in the same apartment or in the same room, likely, on a call together. It's so funny. It's so epic, dude.
the nature of Max.
Someday I'm gonna fly a girl out. I'm gonna fly her out to my apartment, and we're gonna do like a Fortnite stream together, and she's gonna be in that room and I'm gonna be here, and we're gonna be playing Fortnite, and then I'm gonna get off stream and go bang her. That's gonna be the most epic moment of my entire YouTube career. So if I'm ever playing Fortnite with a girl, you guys know. Although not Summer, I'm bringing Summer on stream. We are not banging. Okay, that's not happening. That's fake.
This is evidence, and how Max has come to his conclusions that he's expressed about Camden Gerard Davis.
I addressed him as a cult leader and sexual predator because that's how he has been described by the survivors. And even
you have a boyfriend now? How would Brody feel about that? Probably not good.
Testimonials themselves serve as evidence in a court of law. So
yeah, but we're not in a court of law right now. Testimonials are sworn under oath to someone who's not lying, right? They have to they have to swear on a Bible, say they're not lying, or if it's found out that they're lying, they will be held in contempt of the court. What is the penalty for perjury? What is the federal penalty for perjury? Withdrawing a 401k, lol. Maximum federal prison sentence of 5 years. So you face jail time. So obviously it's going to be a more serious form of evidence. And also, typically, witness testimony is not enough to convict someone. Typically, you need a little bit more, at least circumstantial evidence to convince a jury.
to me, that is all of the evidence I need to say this man is a sexual predator and cult leader.
So you're saying the allegation in and of itself is the evidence?
I'm sorry?
So you're saying the allegation in and of itself is the evidence?
It was everything. It was the evidence that was already there. It was the amount of them. It was the consistency of their testimonials, and it was.
I mean, but like you see the fallacy in that. Like, imagine if I said, "Max, you're a rapist," and somebody.
It's hearsay. It is hearsay. It's a he said, she said situation right now on like apparently the most serious cult of all time. How can you trust this at all? And it's crazy. It's crazy that MamaMax even admits that on the stream. He admits that he doesn't even have, well, not on the stream, on the call. Has he ever said that publicly, that he doesn't have evidence, that he's just trusting these people? Thank you, Props, for becoming a member.
Was to say, oh, well, that's a
Stolful
statement
whole
of fact,
flow
'cause
based.
Muda made this statement, and that
You don't have to say Muda made the statement. Say 5 girls.
He
said
stole
it.
my whole flow.
That's what happened.
Beat for beat, bar for bar.
5 girls said it.
Yes,
About you.
after they were in a group chat together for 3 months, after changing their allegations.
Wait, I'm
multiple
sorry.
times.
What group chat are you in? The evidence server with all of the girls?
Great point.
There is evidence in there. It's not just.
You have to sign an NDA before I can send any evidence. You want to join the server? This is the thing. He's like, well, they changed their story. They were in a group chat. It was just a group chat. What the f do you have on Discord for the victims? It's just a group chat. It's literally just a group chat, man. This is so disappointing too, because I liked Max, and some part of me still likes him. Obviously, I know you guys all hate him, but you know, I've met this guy in real life. Like, some part of me still kind of likes him and wants him to do good. I think it would be good. I know he posted kind of a pseudo apology video the other day, but I think if he's able to apologize for all this and maybe move on past this, he could do other videos. But I think it would be hard for anyone to trust him to do a P-word investigation in the future. And it seems like someone who he started with good intentions to actually expose and empower children on YouTube, and that's good. That's noble. That's very noble. But it seems like it kind of ended up in this weird God complex thing where he doesn't actually have any evidence about these people.
Just them plotting to take down.
But there was
Camden.
evidence in the other one too, right?
Yeah,
you did
Did
go
he
on.
apologize? Did he not? Hold on. I thought he kind of did a little bit, maybe, or seemed somewhat apologetic in this video.
So I just completed a 30-minute video.
This is a huge self-pity party. How embarrassing, Max. I used to respect you. Can we normalize letting the authorities conduct investigations, not YouTubers? This is coming from a survivor of domestic violence and a former subscriber. Let me get this straight. I would not trust someone like you to have handled something like my case. I went through something similar that these survivors did where the police haven't listened. Doxing, making your every move public is not the way to handle the case. You've taken every misstep you could have to make sure this guy gets away if he's guilty. If he's guilty. Big if. You ignore those who rightfully call you out on the unethical nature of your videos and platform. Your mishandling of this and many other cases, and I never apologize for anything you've done, let alone take accountability. You have failed. If you care so much about evidence being found, why would you share experimental approaches to bolster this case? Why would you make this so public? To me, to so many other survivors like me, this rings out that you're only doing this for show. I support your cause, but shame on you, Max. Shame on you.
Called Silencing All Survivors.
Didn't go that well, I guess.
That addresses pretty much everything. It addresses criticisms. It addresses my approach. It includes apologies.
And the most weird thing about it is that the past 4 videos are all about this case, and none of them actually go into the details of it. So this case is just totally bunk. The viewer interest in it is totally gone. And maybe the viewer interest in MamaMax in general. Unless he puts out a super fire video after this about this, and actually maybe he'll, you know what would be actually really cool? He probably shouldn't do this, but actually he definitely shouldn't do this. I shouldn't say this would be cool, but let's say hypothetical reality. What if this did happen? What if after all this comes out, Max leaves for 6 months and comes back with a banger video that gets Gerard Davis and he gets him arrested? That would be great. I mean, would it be great? I don't know. Maybe if this Camden Gerard Davis, you know, is actually guilty, it would be nice for him to see him get put in jail, but can I get some bless yous in chat?
Includes a call to action on Camden.
Damn.
A little bit of information about everything. Like,
this video was a mess of nothing. This is nothing.
On her Facebook and post the self-harm stuff, you did like all those social media messages and stuff like that. That was you, right? Be it not the most important part of the story, clearly, but like it's not like they just lied about you.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
You were like at the social media part where you put like the self-harm video on Haley's thing. That was real, correct?
Oh yes, that was real.
Oh man, allegations are evidence. Our professional P-word hunter,
shout out Flamenco, stole his whole flow,
has gone to the same law school as—
I didn't even realize that's what you guys were talking about at first. I didn't even realize that was the reference. Damn.
Flamenco. Yes, your ears do not deceive you. A man who himself has been accused of abuse by—
Tom, just apologize for taking your stinking piss on my new soda stream machine your mother got me for Christmas. She's crying and she's considering rehab for your crocodile problem. Dude, actually, this is so gay. I'm addicted to workahol. You guys ever been addicted to workahol?
All the stars. It was good to see those workaholic guys because I personally am a workaholic. For many years, I was helplessly addicted to workahol.
Got him. Owned. Shout out Norm, the GOAT. Thank you, Costco, for becoming a member.
5 of his former friends and exes.
I'm addicted to fentanyl. MamaMax made me do fentanyl. Thank you for the dono. Arayu?
Believes that spoken word testimony is more than enough to make the claims he's made here. This justification has been used to dox Camden's mother and swing his audience of rabid abuse survivors in her direction.
Larix's streamer, he debates Max. Max says he thinks his audience something harassing Camden's family is justified if it leads to an arrest or info about him. Harmful precedent this sets.
According to Spencer, Camden's mother had absolutely no knowledge of Spencer living in her home for the entirety of the 4 months she was there.
I don't understand this. Is her mother addicted to Xanax bars, or is his mother addicted to Xanax bars? How does somebody live in your house for 4 months? For 4 months, and you not know? Is it a giant estate with 5 guest houses that they were all staying in?
According to Spencer, Camden does not even live with his mother currently. There is no acceptable excuse.
MamaMax forced me to do fentanyl. Cobby Lame got me addicted to Poopinol.
Why Camden's family was doxxed and maliciously targeted by MamaMax. While discussing this case, there have also been real concerns at who Max refers to each time he talks about lawyers.
Okay, so look at what I just sent you.
Yeah, you sent me a ChatGPT prompt, not a legal definition.
Can testimonies, if there are enough from multiple people, count as evidence in court? Yes, testimonies from multiple people can count as evidence in court. In legal proceedings, testimonies are considered a vital form of evidence. When multiple witnesses provide consistent testimonies, it can strengthen the case as it demonstrates corroboration among different sources. However, the weight given to these testimonies can vary on factors like the credibility of the witness, the consistency of their accounts, and the relevance of their testimony to the case. Why is he using ChatGPT for legal advice? Why can't he just talk to a lawyer? He has enough money to consult a lawyer. Some lawyers will do free consultations even. Why can't he just consult a lawyer? I don't understand at all. I don't understand.
Definition.
I mean, we can argue legal semantics all we want.
No,
We are
we're
not
not
lawyers.
arguing semantics. We have to look at exact definition, Max. You're going in with evidence that can't be 100% corroborated. You're going in with allegations as an evidence. Courts would back you up.
Are we talking to your lawyer, ChatGPT, right now? Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck is going on?
You know, if I make a video on this is what I have to work with. How do you honestly think I can take your side? Logically, if tomorrow I was like, oh, where's Max getting his legal definitions? Oh, ChatGPT. We'll read it together.
ChatGPT understands the legal system.
While I fully believe
Today's
that
video-
MamaMax is speaking to
ChatGPT
legitimate
understands the
lawyers
legal
in some capacity, sending us something like this to explain his position is absolutely absurd, and I find it funny that he wants us to take him seriously. Quite possibly the biggest bombshell in regard to the Camden case, and no, shockingly it wasn't the allegations or evidence thing, is that MamaMax hasn't even seen all of his own evidence yet.
Holy
You are putting words in my mouth.
I'm not putting words in your mouth. That's what you said. You said you only verified Spencer's evidence. You didn't even properly analyze or timeline the evidence of the other victims. That's not putting words into your mouth. That's literally
Okay,
repeating.
can you allow me to clarify then?
Sure, clarify this, please.
I am in the server where they are posting evidence. Not all of them have walked me through what the evidence is as to what the context is.
Okay. So you can't verify the evidence then.
What does that mean I can't verify it?
You can't verify if what they're posting is legitimate.
It means that there's a
verified
much
them.
larger issue here. Not only do we have no idea what's going on, it seems
You
like
don't.
you don't know what's going on.
I do know what's going on. I don't know the complete story.
You're the complete story.
But you have to know the complete story, or at least you have to report it like you have to report it like you don't know it. Like these are allegations. You have to be so careful with this stuff, man. It's so dangerous. You hurt survivors who are actually survivors. You know, this is the part that's maybe left out about the conversation. You hurt actual survivors by misreporting this, because then their cases are going to be taken less seriously. If someone like Spencer is an actual survivor, if these other people are survivors, you are hurting their case by it up, having all these crazy drama streams. Why is Muda wasting time on this clown? Just drop it. Well, because Muda is his friend. Muda is Max's friend and defended him for a long time. And there's a good Chud Logic call about this, actually, where he kind of goes into this in depth a little bit and expresses regret for ever trusting him. But he basically just has to admit, like, I was kind of in this situation, you know?
Anything that I could imagine. And, like, I'm not even finding about anything in reality. It's insane. So, you know.
Okay, well, the biggest question I've got for you, right? I mean, you know, I
Mhm.
appreciate the fact that you are recognizing a lot of these issues, right? But the question
Yeah.
I'd have is, like, why did it take you so long to get to this point?
So this point has kind of been building since my first.
Muda's an idiot. Muda's not an idiot. I like Muda. Maybe you could. The biggest criticism you can give him here is he trusted a friend too much, and that does hurt his credibility a little bit. But if he's doing his best to rectify it, then I don't really see a problem with him. You know, I like Mudahar. We won't stand for Mudahar slander in chat unless he does anything really bad. But I don't think he ever will. Muda's gullible. I mean, I guess that's the worst criticism you can give him. He's gullible. But if he's working to rectify it, he have an H3 story. You guys probably remember this. He apologized for it like the day after because he realized he fucked it up. This is over the Fupa lawsuit. Yeah, this one. Mudahar's one YouTuber who will actually come out and apologize, and, you know, he'll put some skin in the game. He'll acknowledge he fucked up.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar, and I owe an apology, 100%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the off-the-cuff video quality out there. It's an apology that I have to pretty much get out 100%. Because I kind of want to make this video before sort of like any other, you know, 100 like mini channels picked this up and covered it. Because the reality of it is, I do owe an apology, and the last thing I want to see is people fight for me when I'm clearly in the wrong. Now,
Muda's a good guy. I mean, the thing is, like, I like Mudahar. I don't know him that well. I don't know if he's a good guy. The thing I'm more concerned with above someone being a good guy is what they do with their public platform. If somebody is willing to come out and apologize on their public platform when they fuck up a story or rectify it privately, however they see fit, I think that's a really good thing and it's commendable, and people should be open to that. You know, he's someone who is not clouded by ego. He's willing to admit when he's wrong and when he fucked up.
I made 2 videos. One of them was the hypocrisy of Ethan Klein, and I made another video where I followed up retracting a wrong point that I made. Now, I donation shamed Jeff Bezos, or not I donation shamed, I claimed Ethan Klein had donation shamed Jeff Bezos for $100 million, which was a complete fallacy, wrong. I made that video sort of in kind of like anger of being like a former fan, uploaded it, and I made a wrong statement. And for that, I 100% owe Ethan a complete apology for that video. It was wrong, and I should have checked my sources better. For
Nick tweeted out, Mr. President, the second MamaMax videos hit the tower, based.
sure, 100%. Now, that being said, a lot of people have sent me like one clip in particular, which if it can load up
It's
real
6
quick,
minutes.
I don't know if the audio works or it does. It looks like it's working. But a lot of people
And he apologized when he f***ed it up. I'll be removing my videos on Ethan. That's I never meant to dox him as he claims, since I mentioned public info. That being said, that response video put out by him shows how out of touch he is. He kind of walked it back a little here, but this video is like really dropping the ego, admitting when he really f***ed up.
Sending me this clip where he was like in the middle of like the Australian
people make mistakes. What's
wildfires,
important is to acknowledge them and learn. Very true,
donation
Mr.
chain Jeff
Rebel.
Bezos, which is kind of
Weird name, but very true.
They sent me this like
They
sent me
makes
this
that in
clip.
6
Listen to it.
minutes.
Yeah, if you're gonna donate that little,
He makes that in 6 minutes.
love it.
Like another couple extra seconds of context. But Ethan actually wasn't really donation shaming Jeff Bezos over there. Kind of like, I think, more asking a question. But, being the internet and what it is, a lot of people quickly make a speculation, which coincidentally something that I did, and I was wrong. So, it's time to call out what it is, what's worth being called out.
There he is. He's apologizing. And he did the same thing with MamaMax. This shows, in my opinion, a pattern of behavior of acknowledging when he messes up. I don't know that he's a good guy. I don't know that that's that important. He may be, he may not be. I think he's probably a decent person. He's giving me some decent advice behind the scenes. But I think what's really important to acknowledge is that on a public platform, he's willing to admit when he thinks he made a big mistake.
I want to say like a couple months ago when this whole started, and I was talking with Tommy C, right? And I want to say like the eyes were kind of opening up, because for the longest time, I will admit that me alongside multiple other creators were kind of giving Max the benefit of the doubt, because, he made pretty big videos, which admittedly I didn't look at every single second of them. He was hunting. So it was really a situation where it was a lot of, I want to say, unearned, what is that word? Unearned
credibility.
Unearned credibility for because he's such a big creator. And it wasn't until like I had that discussion with Tommy C, and Tommy was obviously criticizing him just as everyone is, way before everyone else. So it was talking to him, it was talking to Nicholas Diorio, and then what really sealed the deal was when, I want to say 2 months ago, we had received the initial DMs to this entire situation, right? This cult situation. He told me he was working on a cult project, and I was like, okay, sure. I mean, I'm down to help out if I can in any way.
Me too. I was told about this
because that's what
I didn't stick my neck out publicly because I didn't know about any of it, and I've never really done that for anyone, because if I don't know enough about the situation, I try to just stay out of it. Even when it's a personal friend, I try not to ascribe too much credibility, and it probably will happen in the future. I probably will hear something from a friend, and I'll probably cover it favorably for them. I'm going to try not to, obviously, but like, I am human, If I see somebody trying to expose something publicly, it's not totally unlikely that I'm going to believe them off the bat. Maybe I'll have to issue a correction for that, and I'm totally fine with that. I think I'm someone who isn't super attached to people and like what they do as much as I am ideas and principles, and I'm trying to be that way anyway. And so it could happen in the future. Who knows? Maybe it's happened in the past and I'll be called out for it, and I f***ed up. Who knows? But here, Mudahar is publicly acknowledging, like, you know what, I was a silly Billy,
But I say to any creators that I'm on, a friendly term with, right? Like if Coffee hit me up or Barely or, Charlie, I'm like, sure, I'll help out. He sent us, like, when he released that brainwashing criticism, looking through people break, but no. I mean, it does bother me, especially if it's not a direct sting operation, he's still culpable under
harassment and
companies like Disney and
this is him disavowing MamaMax, and now he just released a video about him. So I think he did a good job,
That's your job, just to get the complete story out there. You understand how crazy this sounds?
That is what we are working on.
Why did they come to you? I don't understand. You clearly have never done anything like this before.
And that is why I've been asking for help, Nick.
Why the hell did you make a statement of fact calling somebody?
Why are you asking?
Are we gonna?
I'm sorry. Why are you asking YouTubers for help investigating this? Why aren't you asking the police primarily, or like some actual investigator? Why are you asking? Listen. I think I do good work on YouTube. I think I'm capable of looking into situations, and me and the Turkey team are capable of that and doing our due diligence. But like, I'm a YouTuber. I report things. I'm not really a journalist. I'd like to be journalistic, but I'm not really a journalist. I make drama videos, right? I don't think you should be going to the guy who made tipsters fat or whatever to like be the primary person investigating your case. It should be someone else.
Keep arguing this?
Yes!
Yeah, we are. We have to keep arguing it because you clearly don't understand the ramifications of what you're doing to this case.
Because you're setting it up for the guy who potentially, like, and abused tons of women to take the money you've given these victims in court in a civil case.
I'm going to tell you right now, I actually believe the victims. I think that there is some malfeasance involved, but how you've handled this case and how you've been doing this call so far, you know who has a grounds to sue you? You know who has some credibility to win now? It's Camden.
Not only is this guy not going to go in jail, you're going to end up paying him, bro. You're
I'm
getting
sorry,
money.
do you want to read what you read to me earlier?
Yeah, this case is a show. It feels like every single answer creates 10 more questions. But what I refer to as an unacceptable negligent failure on the part of MamaMax, some others might try to dismiss as mistakes or being in over his head. So we're gonna have to go deeper, which is fine for me because these things are usually 4 to 6 feet deep anyways.
Corpse, I know you have nothing to do with this, but with all of your power, influence, and the favorite.
This is a crazy thing. This is the video that I was in. You guys remember? He basically asked me to be in a video about like my issues with YouTube and making dark content and like getting stuff claimed. So I talked about an abuse of a privacy complaint system. In the video, my video ended up being included in this, where he's basically calling out Corp's husband and trying to get him to acknowledge stuff and like, not even acknowledge mistakes he made, just ask him to talk about the situation. And once again, it is completely insane. And I do mean insane to expect Corp's husband of all people, the guy who makes like Hot Topic email rap for 15-year-olds, no offense, I kind of like it, but that's what it is, and makes Squid Game content and choking my friends in gaming content, makes imposter videos or whatever. It's completely ridiculous to expect this person to cover the situation. It should be anyone else, literally anyone else, literally anyone else, or just cover it on your own.
You owe me. I just couldn't help myself. Remember when you reached out after years of not speaking to me while I was at the hospital tending to my sick girlfriend, and you kept trying to rush me home to do you a huge favor? So how about you do me the fucking favor this time and talk about
like bringing up personal drama, bringing up old personal drama.
I know.
To get attention on your case is ridiculous. That is a clear conflict of interest.
You have nothing to do.
I think it's jealousy. It might be.
This, but with all of your power,
it seems like kind of an old scorned lover, like old ex-boyfriend energy, trying to go after someone who was not responsive to you in DMs one time. It was me, Barry.
And the favor you owe me, I just couldn't help myself. Remember when you reached out after years of not speaking to me while I was at the hospital tending to my sick girlfriend, and you kept trying to rush me home to do you a huge...
It's my girl, she'll be okay, but thanks. Don't want to rush you, but I need this done soon. Could you leave and come back? We're about to check out. I'll be home in a few hours. Is this even bad? Is he even really rushing him? Is literally just asking him to do a voice line for his video, and he's saying like, oh, I'm dealing with stuff, but I'll try to do it later. Did he really do anything wrong here at all, dude?
So how about you do me the favor this time?
I get liking the guy, he's legitimately insane. I mean, I don't know if he's insane, but what he did was insane.
Talk about something besides yourself for once. It will give you a good look.
I legitimately have no idea why people are surprised. This guy literally does this every single year. He does weird like this every single year. This was another video about predators.
I didn't even realize he ended up tweeting out, pick a side, YouTube. I didn't see that.
Max clout begging is not something new for this case. In reality, Max has been doing this for years in his stupid fake voice. In fact, a lot of the creators he had on board jumped ship after the hashtag pick a side YouTube fiasco just last year.
Susan Wojcicki, stop lying to us every time you have to give a statement. Either do something good for this site once in your fruitless life, or step the fuck down.
Dude, I think that's why she quit. You got him.
You talk about the YouTube controversy? Is it the whole pick a side thing? I said this about the last thing he did. I think that's the absolute worst way of going about anything ever.
Look, Max being a cringy clout demon is already common knowledge for most, and not really worth investigating further for this video. I just wanted to point this out for newcomers. The real tea on Max.
I believe we criticized him quite a bit on the Half Baked podcast for that, where we were just, I mean, we had a conversation with him. It's kind of interesting to look at in retrospect. How a lot of the problems we expressed didn't really change. What's up, Shoe Nice?
Max's history is related to his previous investigations. Since Max is representing at least 8 survivors currently, how many predators has Max put away in the past?
Is there any proof or evidence that MamaMax has not just got anyone charged or prosecuted? Is there any proof that he's even got anyone arrested that we can see?
Well, 2 years ago we spoke, and he claimed a man by the name of Pablo Sonny was arrested.
I don't give a shit if my video comes back up. It did what it needed to do. The pist that was in the video is currently in police custody.
Was that as a result of your video, or was that prior to the video?
Yes, it was because of the video. I don't know if the police asked him to come back, or he went on his own volition, or they forced him to come back. I don't know any of those details. I just know he went back to Canada and was in police custody for a certain amount of time.
That's all well and good, but Max has been doing this for 5 years, and one single arrest is not really substantial. We also don't really know what happened to that guy. Hardly a success story, wouldn't you say? The main takeaway that I want people to understand is that we don't know how many predators Max has even caught. Look, people can test this, but unfortunately, we just don't know. We don't have proof of how many predators Max has caught. Do you think that MamaMax has any arrests? Like, do you think he's ever actually gotten a predator arrested?
I have no idea. Obviously, you're gonna say no, right?
You were in one of his videos, right? Like, he had you in a video.
Yeah.
Had you ever, like, watched his content before you agreed to that?
A little bit, but it was pretty hard for me to get through, honestly.
In one of Max's predator expose videos, the Discord Max infiltrates, quote unquote, isn't real. He created it with footage to retell his story.
Which basically forced my hand into joining these closed-off communities where they could easily get to me.
So basically, he says in this roly-poly's Nanakarobi Yoki, but this is his server that he set up. He's the admin or mod for this server because you can see he's got the cog icon. Go to your Discord. If you go to a Discord, you see you won't have that if you're not an admin or moderator. But that means that that's your server. You're the admin. You set that up. And the thing is, what people would argue is like, oh well, but he's doing that because he's doing it for the sake of the video. And it's like, okay, well, where's the evidence that he did this thing that he's claiming that he did, joining this server and putting, he's out here claiming that he's putting himself in danger.
So now it's just up in the air at how much of Max's predator allegations are actually real. Sure, this detail is largely inconsequential to the story and may appear to just be me reaching. I like to call it laying the groundwork, but nevertheless, we don't know how much of Max's content he's willing to fake. We just don't know. But the last one is the real damning thing here. A long Reddit post went up that piqued my interest recently. Calm down, H-Bomber guy. I'm gonna credit the dude. Maximum Platypus 69 raised a lot of interesting questions about multiple MamaMax.
That H-Bomber guy video, I actually haven't even seen all the way through. Is it good or no? I kind of shied away from that, I think, when I saw that maybe this is kind of silly of me, but when I saw that the YouTube drama subreddit that was birthed from that, I was kind of put off by that, but there could be some good stuff in there.
Max's previous video.
So people are calling him the new iDubbbz, the new iDubbbz. High praise. But I only want to watch the new iDubbbz if he's calling his fans NFs personally. Otherwise, don't want it, dude.
Remember, if you think we're reaching, this guy hunts predators. There should not be this many questions about things he might have faked in the video. But the one that stood out to me was Max's video on IMVU.
I find the agonizing screams of hundreds of my children pleading for justice.
Hundreds of my children.
On IMVU. I hear you, and you will go through this alone no more. We will help you.
If you don't know, IMVU is a 3D avatar social networking application. In this video, Max claimed a user named Casey was exploited by Pablo Sunny. Yes, if you've been paying attention, Pablo Sunny is also coincidentally the only predator that Max was able to get arrested. He claimed it was because of this video. The Reddit poster takes issue with a story of a victim named Casey, who's...
It's implied in the video that an account under the name of Casey was exploited by Pablo Sunny. The account only has one friend, Pablo. Max makes note of how she's isolated and moves on quickly. Max supposedly finds the YouTube account owned by the same person by image searching her profile picture. The image is from Naruto. How would a reverse image search find that specific YouTube page? Wait, is that real? His evidence that this person was evil or whatever, or that this is the person he's going after, is that they have a Naruto profile picture? The join date is the most convincing element of the channel, but can be explained. One could easily adjust the date using the inspect element option. I changed the name of the channel for a screenshot below. You have to refresh the page entirely for it to reset. It even works if you inspect element twice for tab switching on YouTube. I'll follow up with a quick vid demonstrating this also. Something to note, inspect element is accessible to IMVU desktop program also. So have people been going through Max's stuff for a while now and realizing this? Kind of like with Nick is Not Grain, where people had issues with his coverage for a long time, and then the sort of super mega thing was like the catalyst for really it all coming out.
His only friend on IMVU was Pablo. Max claims to have reverse image searched Casey's Naruto profile pic to a YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel, Max claims he miraculously got access to Casey's unlisted videos she posted. I don't think I have to tell you this, but that's really convenient. And I'm going to tell you anyway. We are currently approaching Dream's Minecraft world record Ender Pearl luck on this Predator investigation. But don't worry, there's more. On her account, there was a video titled, "This is where you and killed me," that showcased a bloody white sheet in the woods. Maximum Platypus 69 correctly pointed out that the vast majority of Max's abuse survivor audience interpreted this as Casey either being deceased or taking her own life following the unlisted video's release. Max would respond later in a Q&A, and it was really awkward.
Is there an update on Casey? Can you talk about how you got into the account or how you found it? Yeah, that's...
Wow, there's so many Spurgs in here. Smuggest Joker, Blue GI Yoshi, ZML. Shout out to the Spurg chat, guys.
It's a bit much.
I can't talk too much about Casey. I don't know what I can and can't say. I will tell you that, yes, she's okay. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, thank God. I didn't even know that. That's something I wanted to actually jump in DC with you about at some point.
Yes, but...
Thank God.
I'm going to stop talking about it. There's a lot I want to say about it, but I can't talk about it.
Yeah, we'll respect her privacy, too. We'll respect the secrets for now. Thank you, Max, for that very relieving update.
So is this his post-surgery voice? What is the surgery lore? Can someone fill me in on that? On, like, him getting... He got like surgery to make his voice deeper. I thought he told me that he like, or he said publicly maybe somewhere that he like blew out his voice from doing the voice so much he had to get surgery to like heal himself. What's the deal with that?
Apparently, Casey is alive, but many have pointed out that aside from Max's spoken word testimony, if you will, there is no concrete proof that Casey ever existed, like at all. Like at the time of Max's upload, Casey's accounts were deleted. Look, it's one thing to recreate a piece of media to tell a full story of what really happened, and it's another to create an entire human being and plop them down in an active predator investigation because you're a filmmaker.
But what was the cost?
Everything.
He fabricated a person entirely? He fabricated a victim of this predator? The audience definitely didn't pick up on that. No wonder it was so hard to follow for people, because he was creating fiction. It's a movie.
57434 takes her own life after being groomed and worked by a man she met on the platform. powerful.
Is this girl Casey even a real person? He claims in his video that he found her no subscriber YouTube channel through a reverse image search using her profile picture on the game IMVU, where he then hacked this girl's YouTube channel and found an unlisted video called "This is where you raped and killed me," which is a video that shows assumingly Casey filming the site of her rape and has bloody sheets and a pillow in the middle of the woods. So if the narratives are fake, you not only lied about her death, but also that she was raped too, and made up this whole Batman ARG fake story that you had hackers behind the scenes get into her YouTube channel and find this secret encrypted
This Evanescence album is not that good. Just saying.
unlisted video that she uploaded days before, like, herself. This is nuts.
Take a look at the post. I'll link it down below. While I will say the OP's evidence is fairly compelling, much like the other 3 allegations I have just levied, there is unfortunately no concrete proof that Max is lying or faking anything. But what if there was? What if this entire segment was just backstory for the biggest nuke that I've ever dropped in my 5 years on YouTube? Oh wait, I forgot.
Go.
Leaked call. Oh no. Are you dipping too, Max?
I'm down to keep talking to you if you have more questions.
Don't be fooled now. You haven't seen anything yet. In fact, any of the 3 upcoming reveals in isolation would be career-ending for really any YouTuber in Max's field. I also think what you're about to see will be fairly shocking to his audience.
Not just in Max's field, I mean in general. Lying to the audience, not having proper evidence the entire time. That's definitely enough. I'm curious what the response is going to be from all of Max's audience. It seems like a lot of them are dormant right now. Like they don't even know about the drama. I guess they're going to find out with all these videos coming out, especially Mudahar's, because Mudahar probably has a lot of overlap with MamaMax. But I'm curious how the wider audience is going to respond. Like if he came back and did the situation justice, would they accept it? Would they accept it?
Sexual abuse survivors that he's farmed for cash month after month on Patreon. For that reason, alongside transparency, I will allow the next 8 excruciating minutes to play unimpeded, and I will only rejoin you after Max Striker's reputation has been thoroughly eviscerated. At the 1-minute mark, your mind will be blown. At the 5-minute mark, you'll be thinking it can't possibly get any worse, and around 2.5 minutes later, you'll realize it can, and it is. Enjoy. So recently, people have been saying that your investigations kind of skew the line between fact and fiction, because they're finding things that you've created as context for the video. I think people are pointing to the Discord server that you were an admin of when you were showing it, the lawsuit that you changed the name or whatever. How much of what you do is kayfabe and how much of it is legitimately like live? This is the investigation. Here it is.
So the investigations themselves are real, but obviously the films have fictional elements. There's multiple reasons. Like for example, the admin thing on the Discord server, I had to recreate it. Yeah, that was a recreation because I didn't have the originals. The IMVU thing, I wasn't. I don't know why people are saying.
Why'd you have to recreate? Like, does that mean you fabricated evidence then? If you're treating it like it's real, does that mean you're fabricating evidence to like make your case more compelling? Did the audience even understand that? They probably thought it was an original source.
Like it's a film. Like I am presenting it as if it were to be real, but I didn't think people would take it as that. Like,
but wait, you hunt files. You don't think that people are going to think your videos are real?
So that's the thing. So I want everyone, when you watch my video, to assume everything is fake, except like when I show a face and what they're doing. Like, because obviously that's all.
Oh, sorry. I know I said unimpeded. My bad. Won't happen again.
So I want everyone, when you watch my video, to assume everything is fake, except like when I show a face and what they're doing. Like, because obviously that's all real. And that's why we include like Mega Drive links to show like this is the full evidence. This is all real. Everything else should be considered fake, whether it's real or not. Like if I'm sending viruses to
everything should be considered fake. What is going on?
Whether that's fake or real, that's on purpose because I don't want people to know if I'm actually sending viruses to because that's implicating myself.
Okay. So I guess the next logical question from there is just asking, because now it's come up saying like, well, you've never been to court. What have you done? What is the most substantial outcome of a predator hunt that you've done? What is the final nail in the coffin? You're like, if you had to go tell somebody, oh, what do you do? What does Max Striker do? What's your proudest moment?
Honestly, the hunting videos isn't my proudest aspect. The thing I'm proud of is inspiring.
Wait, but dude, how's that not your proudest aspect? Filmmaker dedicated to empowering children. How's that not your proudest aspect? What does that mean?
Those who are CSA survivors to fight back.
What do you mean by fight back? By making YouTube videos? How are your YouTube videos helping them fight back? What does that mean?
That is my goal.
Have you ever gotten someone arrested?
If I have, then I don't know it.
You went on my.
He told us he did. He told us he got Pablo Sunny arrested. He said he was in police custody. I don't know it. I thought the whole point was he was putting them in jail. That was the impression I had of MamaMax's channel.
Podcast to tell me that you've got someone arrested and it was because of your video. Just to be clear, would you like to re-answer that question?
I've been emailed stuff like, "Hey, you got this guy arrested. Congratulations."
You went on and you said this guy was arrested. It was because of me. It was because of my video.
He literally lied.
And you told me that 2 years ago.
It's kind of egotistical of me to say that was my video that did it. I don't know that for sure.
But then you said recently that he fled to the Philippines. So was Sunny ever arrested? Pablo Sunny? Did that ever even happen?
Yes, he did. All we know is that his last location we picked him up.
How do you know that though? Because you got an email. Is that evidence?
From was Mexico. Whether he fled to the Philippines or not, we don't know. We just know he has family there.
How can you play dumb with this? This isn't just autism.
But he was in so he was arrested.
Fucking liar.
Pablo Sunny? I have no. I don't think so. I think he got away.
Dude, what the?
He said on our fucking show that he got him arrested, dude. You guys remember this? We just showed this, but just to let this fucking sink in. Dude, what?
So you want to enact this change. What do you hope is the eventual result of your video?
Okay.
Of all this.
So I know there's people out there saying I'm doing it to self-serve. I just want my video back up. I don't give a shit if my video comes back up. It did what it needed to do. The rapist that was in the video is currently in police custody. And it
was that as a result of your video, or was
Yes.
that prior to the video?
Yes, it was because
Okay.
of the video.
All
The
right.
video was about IMVU and this one predator. I made it about him and him alone.
IMVU is a game, right? You
Yes.
played the game and you exposed this guy.
Yes.
Do you mind walking me through the chain of events that led
Okay, so he said he got him arrested. What is the chain of
from your
events?
video to him being imprisoned?
Yeah, so I dropped the video. The end of the video is a call to action. Usually all my videos are a call to action, like find him. And we did.
So in this case, find him meant like you didn't know who he was. You wanted his doc so he could go to jail.
All we had was his face and his voice.
Right.
And out of that, I said, find him. And then within 24 hours, we found him. And then I started social engineering all of his friends to give me his information. And they did. And then we pegged him. He fled to Mexico. We found where he was in Mexico.
Wow.
I don't know if the police, he was from Canada. So I don't know if the police asked him to
As
come
all
back.
terrible people are.
Mhm. I don't know if the police asked him to come back or he went on his own volition or they forced him to come back. I don't know any of those details. I just know he went back to Canada and was in police custody for a certain amount of time.
So how did he even know that? How did he even, was it just because of the email he got? When I get an email with no evidence, am I supposed to immediately trust that? I get so many schizo emails. Am I supposed to take them at face value?
I don't
Is that the
know if they
protocol
did
here?
anything yet, but I will be making an update video about him soon.
So he was arrested at some point. It's fair to say that. You know that.
I don't know if it was he was arrested or they just like interrogated him. Like, you know how police can.
Jesus.
Yeah, if he was arrested, I have
Christ.
no idea.
Why did you tell me he was arrested? You said Pablo Sonny was arrested and my video did it. Why did you lie to me on my show?
Do you have a clip of that?
Yes, it's in something
Yeah,
I've been
send it.
currently editing.
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I think there's even a video on YouTube. Actually, can you just jump in the screen share? I'll just pull it over.
gonna show him
Somebody
the
archived
clip.
it.
Well, I guess the question is like the next getting at is like, okay,
And it
was that as a result of your video or was
Yes.
that prior to the video?
Yes, it was because
Okay,
of the video.
all
The
right.
video was about IMVU.
It's so overdue. He straight up lied. Yeah, it seems like he did.
This one predator. I made it about him and him alone.
IMVU is a game, right? You
Yes.
played the game and you exposed this guy.
Yes.
Do you mind walking me through the chain of events that led from your video to him being in prison?
Yeah, so I dropped the video. The end of the video is a call to action. Usually all my videos are a call to action. If the police
lied.
If the police, he was from Canada.
Tom, they're adults living together. You don't have enough evidence to rule out any allegation of busting. Innocent until proven busting, okay?
So I don't know if the police asked him to
As
come
all
back.
terrible people are.
I don't know if the police asked him to come back or he went on his own volition or they forced him to come back. I don't know any of those details. I just know he went back to Canada and was in police custody for a certain amount of time.
So you lied.
So that was what I was told through Instagram posts when I was in contact with his friends.
You didn't remember that until I showed you the clip? You didn't remember that like this is your biggest crown achievement that you got a pedophile arrested?
I didn't
I was
remember.
told through Instagram posts, you dolt, you dummy, you silly Billy Max, being a silly Billy. That's crazy. This is nuts. This is nuts.
The details, no. I just remember he fled to Mexico. All the police custody. That was only I was told. I couldn't verify any of that.
But you said that. Then why did you say that in our video that you got him arrested for sure and you knew it? Why did you say that in our podcast we did? He's scrambling for an excuse. It sounds that way. It sounds like he forgot and now he's like maybe vaguely remembering that he got told on Instagram. Like he doesn't even know.
So you just got on stream and told everybody it was me. I did it. MamaMax #1.
Yeah, that's not cool. You can let people know I think that.
Thank you. So that was one of the major points of contention. Last question. This is an ethical question, one of my favorite types of questions. In your previous investigations, what have you done to ensure that the evidence you're passing over to police is sufficient to get, prosecution? And what precautions do you take to make
Max
sure
made a video of his slam poetry talking about his love of yanking it to hentai. Okay.
it's usable in a court
All
of law?
right.
So with Wayne's probably the best one. I mean, we literally had him in a voice call. Like it's like the Mega Drive. Like it's literally us saying we're 14 years old. He's saying, yeah, I want to see your pussy. I want to see I want you to ride me like that to what he thinks is a 14-year-old. And we verified that by telling him like, I don't know, I'm young. I don't know, I'm only 14. I think that should be sufficient to put him in prison. But the law says otherwise, I suppose, because as far as I know, he hasn't been imprisoned and people have been I received an email that someone was going to talk to the deputy about why he hasn't been arrested. And I'm also actually going to start interviewing police local to me as to why don't get arrested, because I know they all want to arrest them.
He's like talking around it. He's trying to come up with some other explanation he can give people for, right? He's trying to come up with anything. Well, I'm actually planning on starting interviewing the police around me for why. Is that a decent explanation of why you didn't get this guy arrested or why you lied in our podcast? This guy never responded to me. I messaged him asking if he was down. No reply. No reply at all. That's embarrassing.
It's just the law.
What could his response even be to this? What could Max's response even be to this, dude? His audience can never trust him again. Maybe he'll just go back to making hentai reviews or something. Maybe that will be fruitful for him, but I can't imagine anyone ever looking past this, even if he does change the content, you know?
Binds them.
So you've never actually gotten a arrested?
Not to my knowledge.
So your content is just making fun of pedophiles online?
I suppose, like I said, my biggest goal is to inspire survivors to fight back.
Which, by the way, if you want to make fun of them and bully them, that's fine. I don't really mind if you do that. You probably should report them to the police at bare minimum. But if you're gonna make content making fun of freaks, like I love Mr. Medicare. I don't think he ever got anyone arrested. Like the Ross bathtub saga, bathtub Ross. I don't think he ever got arrested. But I mean, like at the very least, he wasn't lying about the fact he was a vigilante. He was just like, I'm just making fun of stuff on the internet, you know? I'm just bullying people. I'm having fun doing that. That's fine. Don't be dishonest about your intentions or about the results of your videos. His audience was probably, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, they're probably under the impression that he was actually getting these people arrested, and he wasn't.
If I can do that, then I feel like I've done an adequate job.
So as it turns out, it was never a question of conviction. No wonder Max has never been to court before. In his 5 years of playing dress-up predator hunter, Max was never even able to secure so much as an arrest. As it turns out, all you need to be a distinguished predator hunter on YouTube is to farm inadmissible evidence by pretending you're a minor and sexting those predators. In fact,
he probably even hurt, I mean, he definitely hurt the Camden Gerard Davis case, at least publicly speaking. Nobody's ever going to take that seriously again. I don't know if he could have hurt the legal process, but I imagine it doesn't help to have a bunch of on the internet that's contradictory and have the victims potentially. First of all, Spencer incriminated herself legally on that podcast saying she lured people. Secondly, it doesn't help if they're accidentally contradicting themselves, getting involved in dumb drama all day.
Records show we can count at least one time Max has.
I wonder if she's going to be mad at him after this. She probably should be, but now they're living together, so they get to have like cute couple arguments about it in the kitchen.
And pictures of his own ass to perverts online so they can record themselves beating off to it. But we can't count at least one time Max has investigated a predator that has led to an arrest.
I could not get his name, his personal social media, and above all else, I could not get his face, at least until I sent him a picture of my ass. Yes, that is my actual ass. So why don't you go to Patreon and support me?
He's caked up. He's caked up, dude. Allegations dismissed on account of the oiled up twerk off competition.
Pitiful little lies after my ass makes
Spencer's changed her story on video a few times, has she? I'd like to see that. Allegations are not evidence. I'd like to see that.
Send me a picture of their face that I then publish to all of you.
Somebody get this guy's Patreon. We need to fund this operation more. So just to clarify, the vast majority of Max's content is fake. He's flabbergasted that you stupid viewers thought it was real. He's also lied about getting arrested to try to bolster his credibility in the past, and he can't even keep his story straight now. Finally, when
he said he didn't want CJD. Who is CJD? Oh, Camden Gerard Davis viewing his stream when Lyrics made his video, but continued to stream and have his fans harass his mother and brother. We basically let him get away if this is real.
Ask what he does to make sure his investigations are ethical and could lead to prosecution, Max more or less confirms that he's a content vigilante with no ethical framework for serious stories. I hope now it's become evident why he responds so dramatically to the slightest criticism. Max is a liar. Max is a con artist. And now everyone knows it.
Is there a single person that MamaMax can point to that he can claim conclusively was arrested?
Nicholas Diorio, that call got him. Damn.
Arrested as a result of one of his investigations.
Have you ever gotten someone arrested?
Victims in Paris.
If I have, then I don't know.
If you actually watched his other videos, like the one on IMVU, he tried to do the exact same thing.
Because it's a scam. Because it's a scam.
Tommy, did you know that
Why is Tommy C just hitting the nail on the head? Shout out Tommy C. He's probably live right now. Maybe I'll call him later. Shout out to that guy.
he claims he got one person in jail, but he won't reveal their identity?
Yes, because it's a scam.
The IMVU thing, I wasn't, I don't know why people are saying like it's a film. Like I am presenting it as if it were to be real, but I didn't think people would take it as that. Like, so I want everyone, when you watch my video, to assume everything is fake, except like when I show a pedo's face and what they're doing.
What bothers me is your answer right there. You've been doing this for 5 years and you don't know how the process goes? How many people have you actually caught?
I've never been caught.
Oh, well then that makes sense then. There you go, folks.
I'm glad
you're a vigilante for views only. You're a vigilante for views only.
So you've never actually gotten arrested?
Not to my knowledge.
So your content is just making fun of online?
I suppose, like I said, my biggest goal is to inspire survivors.
It did what it needed to do. The rapist that was in the video is currently in police custody. And
was that as a result of your video, or was that prior to the video?
Yes, it was
okay.
You went on and you said this guy was.
This guy has no. I mean, the biggest issue, even beyond the lying, is just that he takes these things as evidence. He takes Instagram posts and emails as evidence without proper proof. You can't. If I got an Instagram DM, I get Instagram DMs all the time calling random people groomers. I don't then go on a podcast and say, yeah, that guy's a groomer. Imagine if I did that and then years later I had to be like, well, the evidence was that somebody messaged me on Instagram with no proof saying that it happened. Is that kosher, dude? Is that what I'm supposed to be looking up to? Is that what's cool? Insanity. Complete insanity.
Was arrested. It was because of me. It was because of my video.
It's kind of egotistical of me to say that it was my video that did it. I don't know that for sure.
But then you said recently that he fled to the Philippines. So was Sonny ever arrested? Pablo Sonny? That ever even happened?
Published on it? I don't think so. I think he got away. I'm using you to deflect criticism. I am still getting criticism. Bro, how are they shielding? I'm not shielding you from anything. I am still getting criticism. People
I mean, you use her as a shield in the call. That's pretty evident.
have been playing that card for so long. I use survivors to shield from criticism. I've never shielded myself from, I almost always just get criticism. Well, I'm asking why you did not directly contact me, but contact us only in public streams.
I've seen you got caught up with this whole situation. I have texted you.
But it felt like seeing him on streams.
You went on with...
Hold on, can you put Max on for a second?
I'm right here.
That was snaky as dude. Oh, I'm coming after you, Mudahar. Stand back. Spencer, can you tell him what you felt? You are literally just a little snake hiding behind her, dude. That's disgusting.
Listen to me?
The majority of MamaMax's die-hard audience are sexual abuse survivors, and he's currently taking advantage of them. It's the perfect grift, really. Why would you criticize a guy who's going after predators? Why would you put in work to do it right? That doesn't pay well. Just blame the police. I mean, people already hate the police, right?
I don't want to wait for the bureaucracy of law enforcement to take their time when it's already been 7 years with multiple reports.
Multiple reports, zero evidence. No wonder it's taken 7 years. It'll probably take another 10. Thanks for the 5 specs, Norway. Apparently they're coming, dude. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. When did Max delete his channel? He didn't delete it. It's hard to find in YouTube search results because it's buried under videos bullying him and making fun of him and criticizing him. But if you go to the channel filter, you can find it right here. He changed his profile picture recently, actually. It's there.
That's ridiculous. And that's also why we're taking them to court as well, because this is absurd.
Keemstar, remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me. I jerked you off at super speed, so it seemed like you nutted at just a woman's touch.
There's one more topic on the docket that we need to discuss. I mentioned earlier that Max's exes and former friends have come together to accuse him of abuse. This is not something I feel equipped to discuss at this moment in time, and that would be for a separate video by a separate creator. What I can talk about is the allegation that Max levied against the video's creator,
In August 2022, as a way to deflect accusations against him from former friends and girlfriends, Max retaliated against me by labeling me a PDF file. He said I was a predator with multiple victims based on nothing but anonymous, unverified messages from an alleged victim and testimony from his own sister. My life turned upside down. His accusations against me was viewed nearly 1 million times and led thousands of people to flood my something, both YouTube and personal.
Magnetar.
Is this the guy that had the White House job that Nick talked about who supposedly got fired from it, allegedly, in Minecraft?
Before his real name became known as Anthony Fields.
Anthony Field, Haley's boyfriend. Magnetar on YouTube, the one who published this video on me.
Anthony has essentially had his life ruined by MamaMax. The call out led to his job getting bombarded, and the emails received were disgusting. It's one thing to be falsely accused by some loser online, like I'm Alex, and it's another thing for a respected predator hunter to make claims he is completely unable to prove against you. The allegations levied by Max are completely unsubstantiated by his own admission. The only people who claim to have seen the unobtainable proof of this interaction occurring is an undisclosed girl and Max's own sister. Max has every reason to slander this person.
So this is another case of a conflict of interest where he apparently went after someone who he had a vested interest in because he knew them personally, like with Spencer, who's a family friend. Are all the people in his videos just his fucking cousins and ex-boyfriends of girlfriends?
They are the vessel of the allegations being made against him. Ignoring Max's previously unknown history of lies, I'm still going to need to see more proof than my sister's friend told me this occurred. The reality is, Max's credibility alone carried this allegation.
Now, it turns out that the guy who orchestrated the video
might be right?
Might be, who sent out.
Where does it end? Where does the cycle end?
Like, Max was like, was this White House interning with Obama or something? Like, there was this whole weird arc in there.
Yeah, because me and my girlfriend were like, we know Max, so it's like, we just want to know this whole thing. And you got to imagine, like, if you're the guy running these things and you have a possible history.
I mean, to be honest, looking at it from his perspective, Max is this guy who obviously has a chip on his shoulder and hates this dude, right? And he's making videos about catching. He's just scared. Then one of the videos will be about him.
These guys
so he's trying to.
They trusted him. They stuck their neck out for him. They trusted him. He ended up f***ing it up. By the way, let me get this on stream. Max messaged me back. He's not coming on stream though. I said, I'm going over all the drama. Looks somewhat damning. Want to come on? He said, thanks for the invite. I'll respond sometime soon. This was just now, by the way. Magnetar is the person whose name Max carved into his arm. Anthony and Haley are the ones who filed police reports. Gotcha. Well, I mean, I tried to get him on stream. I guess he's gonna respond. I'm curious. Maybe it's responsible exonerate him. Maybe this is all bunk, but it seems kind of tough.
So
that's Max first.
Imagine that. The projection. It's almost.
I think Max needs to seriously rethink his entire, his life, but also his content, clearly.
Oh my God, that's so...
At best, it made people like myself second guess looking into these allegations those 5 girls made and Anthony published. At worst, people like Mudahar and his co-host took Max's words, insinuated they could be valid off of no substantial evidence, and echoed them, effectively shutting down the story and further harming Anthony's reputation. I would like to personally apologize to Anthony for not looking further into Max back then. Maybe we could have salvaged this situation, and maybe we could have saved the current 8 girls a lot of trouble. I am, however, proud that we could get Magnetar and Mudahar together, just to hash out their differences. It is worth noting that Camden Gerard Davis's alleged abuse victim Spencer, who's also Max's roommate and friend, who's also friends with Max's sister, who's also friends.
I'm bulking. Also, shout out, guys. I recently saw this on some store shelves. I don't know what's going on. They're selling this, dude. What the H? What's going on here, guys? This is disturbing. This is extremely disturbing. They're selling this? Dude, disgusting.
This is what Anthony's alleged victim claims that Anthony dressed up like a student after graduating to eat lunch at school with freshman girls. Oh, and because this is MamaMax, of course there's no evidence of that either. The dude apparently dressed up in a school uniform, snuck in multiple times, and not a single person snapped a picture of him. Nice.
So this is what I'm saying. There's multiple things against Anthony Field. For me, I feel comfortable saying he is a I don't feel he could do anything to me legally for saying that.
Max will ever apologize? Maybe he will. I don't know. You never know.
Because if he...
No, his only response at this point, if he wants any favorability, would be to apologize and leave the internet, I think, for a long time.
Or to, the girl who made the testimony would come forward and testify.
So she has his dick pic and has timestamps of when it was sent. That's real, it exists?
He does not have his dick pic.
So what does she have that she could come forward with?
Just her memory. But
wait, so you don't think that you could legally be held liable for the statements you're making if he were to sue you because you have someone who can come forward and tell you it happened?
Well, I am just documenting what she said.
No, you are calling him a
pedophile. Correct. And to be able to successfully sue me for defamation, he would have to prove that I am lying, which I am not, because the girl is real and she sent me those DMs.
Now this serious stuff is out of the way, does anyone remember the time that MamaMax tried to shill his beats to Anthony Fantano? Well, as it turns out, MamaMax made an entire song about how he wants to perform oral sex on him. Initially, this segment was just going to be cut from my video, but then I got an idea.
Hey buddy, did you hear the news? It's track reviews.
Forever.
In conclusion, this video proves that Max Striker is a complete and total fraud. His persona MamaMax is a freak who does not help children prosecute their abusers. He hunts predators online as a soldier of fortune. He lies about his accomplishments to bolster his credibility.
Wait, why is that? Wait.
Forever.
In conclusion, this video proves that Max Striker is a complete and total fraud. His persona MamaMax is a freak who does not help children prosecute their abusers. He hunts predators online as a soldier of fortune. He lies about
MamaMax had diarrhea. Is so sad. Rest in poor. Why is this here, bro?
About his accomplishments to bolster his credibility. He manipulates his audience of abuse survivors by not disclosing large portions of his content are completely fake, and he uses credibility he never deserved in the first place to silence and ruin other people's lives. Just look at how he treated Tommy C. The man was Max's first real persistent critic, and during the videos he was supposedly hunting predators, Max took time out of his day to create a QR code campaign about Tommy and talk about sexually dominating him. The stuff on screen right now is completely psychotic, and even more so with the information we now know about how fraudulent Max's activities have been. I mean, look at the comments. Look at what people said to Tommy, just because he spoke up and questioned the current narrative. MamaMax does not deserve anyone's support. MamaMax does not deserve a second chance. This is not a community that can offer one. This is a malicious person who preys on his supporters. He is the predator to them. To the girls Max is helping fight against Camden Gerard Davis, you claim to have escaped one cult. Don't be foolish now and fall into another. And MamaMax, this part is me, speaking directly to you. I know you, Max. I know how you operate. My friends and I know what you're about to say, so we have to spell it out for you. Yo, John Swan, drop the bass.
Though we are different, we are all the same. Because above all else, there's one thing that holds us together. We don't like A-words!
Camden Gerard Davis is a child predator that has molested hundreds of children as a pretense for vampire werewolf cult. It's absolutely crucial that we spread awareness of it.
Camden Gerard Davis's time is up. He's about to be exposed.
Camden Gerard Davis, you're going to jail.
Well, pretending to be a vampire. So if you come across Cameron Gerard Davis, be sure to contact MamaMax immediately in order to get this guy arrested for charity fraud.
What's that, Camden? Who are you? Someone in my chat was just talking about you. Thank you for the prime.
Why is Morg Pie there? How did he get this? Morg Pie's a weirdo. That's really funny, though.
We are real.
Hey, Camden. Jared Davis. Should I say it? Don't feel depressed just because you're a vampire werewolf and people are saying to you. The Leviathan will come for your enemies. Getting paid.
Camden Gerard Davis is a stupid name. You vampire piece of shit.
We are real, Camden Gerard Davis. Whatever you may or may not have done. I'm not really sure.
Camden Gerard Davis, those teeth are fake, they make you look stupid, and there's no such thing as black vampire.
Camden Gerard Davis. Where's the
A lot of big names here.
charity money? The Leviathans are coming. How's it going, everyone? Here in my garage.
When the Leviathans are coming for you, is that a MamaMax meme? I get it now. I didn't realize. That totally went over my head. I forgot he said that.
Give a quick shout out to Cameron Pro Jared the Completionist. Shout out to you, my dude.
The time for action is now. MamaMax needs our help. Camden Gerard Davis. MamaMax needs our help.
Well, hello, Camden Gerard Davis. So I've been told to roast you because
How did he get Foodie Beauty to do this?
you wear
Is this
werewolf teeth,
cameo?
and I guess you think that's cool. And I've been told to tell you to stop making friends in Texas. I'm sure you would like to be on the speak with your werewolf teeth.
Cameron Gerard Davis, more like Cameron Gerard Davis, am I right? Is that dude is cringe? Yeah.
There was me. Okay. Good video. Really good video from Nick. I think he kind of got MamaMax. I don't know how he could respond in any way other than an outright apology. Damn. All right. Well, that was a good video. I think we got to watch. I think we have to watch Budahar's now. I think there's no other option. I assume it might cover some of the same stuff, so I'll probably skip through it, but I gotta check this out. Shoenice says WTF is for the win spelled backwards. So true, bro.
Today's video is the most serious I might have made in my entire career on this platform. It's a video I don't want to make because it's personally so uncomfortable. It's a video about someone I and many in the community considered a friend. Today, I personally don't consider this person a friend. I consider them a liar, both professionally and on a personal level regarding very personal things. But that's me going into things that I shouldn't need to. I also didn't want to make a video on this because I'm not an expert on the topics that we are completely discussing today. As you know, when I upload things to my channel, it can be about computer software, it can be about creepy games, it can be browsing the weirder side of the internet, like the deep web. It can be looking at trending things. It could be a bunch of stuff, mostly lighthearted. And yes, I do occasionally dip into things that are very serious. But when it comes to situations regarding, situations regarding trafficking and whatnot, I am not an expert. That is something for the law enforcement, for lawyers, for professionals to appropriately handle. I don't even think YouTubers should be the ones that are running cases like this, because in a vast majority of cases, most of them aren't well equipped. But in this situation, this creator specifically that we are talking about is MamaMax. Now, MamaMax is a channel with 746,000 subscribers, a filmmaker dedicated to empowering children. Throughout his career, MamaMax has covered topics such as his Life Sucks series, anime reviews, but what most people know Max for is his Predator hunts, videos where Max claims to infiltrate dark corners of social media. He's made very popular videos and gained a lot of respect in the larger YouTube community. Predator hunting is a popular topic on the internet and YouTube in general, and it's seen a bit of a resurgence in recent years with very high-profile cases such as EDP445, caught in a massive YouTube sting operation, in an alleged meetup of a minor. Nowadays, the predator poaching channels that exist are a dime a dozen, and a big fear of these channels that a lot of the community has is that in the grand majority, for clicks and revenue, investigative and evidentiary rules aren't met, and law enforcement in many cases is not even involved until well after the fact. And it caused a serious problem in letting actual evil people walk free because of technicalities and failing to follow basic evidentiary patterns. When in realistic fashion, if law enforcement was involved, these people would be tried in a court of law.
This is kind of what happened with EDP, right? I've seen a lot of people talk about how the predator poachers fucked up the chain of evidence, potentially caused it to be entrapment in a court of law, and that's part of why he wasn't charged officially.
That said, MamaMax has committed almost every single sin in the book in the hunt for who he believes is one of the most evil predators currently walking in the world today. So why am I talking about him so negatively now? Because again, like I said, Max has recently made several videos, 3 in particular, making what I believe to be a mockery of these types of serious investigations. Max has covered a story he claims is peppered with human trafficking, cult worship, and brainwashing, and violent abuse, topics that are incredibly serious, and as I've said, I am not a key expert on. Topics where real victims exist and continue to exist on a daily basis. So let's get started. This is the story of how MamaMax has failed what he considers a very serious investigation, and a prime example of how YouTubers should not be involved with serious situations like this. So let's start off with the story. The story begins on October 3rd, 2023, where Max sends me a message on Discord. Hey Muda, I hope you've been well. I don't want to...
It seems like a lot of this info is just repeated from what we already covered, so there's probably not a lot I can add here. I guess I kind of want to see the end of this with the call to see if there's anything there, but I think we've gone over pretty much all of this already.
Still actually trying to process.
Well, I'm asking why you did not directly contact me, but contact us only in public streams.
Let's see, I contacted you November 27th. Max, I've seen your latest video. I've caught up with this whole situation. I have texted you.
What it felt like seeing him on streams.
You went on with Tommy and Lyrics and are sitting there talking to them when you literally haven't spoken to the other survivors.
Hold on.
Yeah, we already heard. This seems like a lot of repeated information. And be sure to become a member. For $5 a month, they get the members-only podcasts and exclusive videos that only members get. Thanks so much for your support.